Chapter 2109. On the Stars. Xiaoping quickly caught Xiaoxiu and Sumei. The two of them looked at Xiaoping angrily, their faces flushed with anger, as if they wanted to beat him up. Tell me what's going on. Why are you two lying on the spaceship? What bad things are you up to? Xiaoping asked with a straight face. What do you mean by lying? Who can lie more than you? Sumei said disdainfully. You're right. Who could do more bad things than you? Xiaoxiu chuckled. Xiaoping was so thick-skinned that even a Star Destroyer cannon couldn't penetrate it. How could he be embarrassed by a few sarcastic words? He was very calm and proud of himself. After asking for a while, he finally knew the purpose of Sumei and Xiaoxiu. It turned out that the two of them had once been on a green tree planet. With the help of a little girl, Ruth, they ended up obtaining a purple dragon emperor ginseng and had a huge fortuitous encounter. With the help of this 100,000-year-old peerless elixir, their cultivation levels advanced by leaps and bounds, all the way to the Golden Core realm. However, they didn't expect that not long after they left that planet, they would be attacked by a group of pirates called the Black Fox Pirates. Several cities and countless villages were captured and enslaved. Among them was the little girl from the Tran clan, Ruth. After receiving the news, Sumei and Xiaoxiu were extremely anxious and immediately chased after the little girl, trying to rescue her. After all, Ruth had done them a great favor. However, they didn't expect the Black Fox Pirates to be a famous pirate group in the Southern Universe and even a member of the 40 Pirates Alliance. They had a large number of people, were deeply rooted, and had a deep background. Ordinary people couldn't shake them. Even ordinary people from Saint-level sects would find it extremely difficult to deal with the Pirate Alliance. However, they didn't want to deal with the entire Pirate Alliance. They just wanted to rescue the little girl, Ruth. In order to break into the nest of the 40 Pirates Alliance, they had put in a lot of effort. They wanted to sneak in as captives and search for Ruth's whereabouts without anyone knowing. However, they met Xiaoping before the plan even started, causing the plan to be aborted. I see. It's to save someone. It's very simple. Just leave it to me. Xiaoping patted his chest. You're willing to help? Xiaoxiu asked in surprise. It wasn't that she didn't believe in Xiaoping's strength, but this guy was simply a bastard who wouldn't get up early without benefits. How could he help others so easily? Of course I'm willing. It's nothing much, but there's no such thing as a free lunch in this world. After we save that Ruth, or whatever it is, you're going to give me 3 soccer kids. Xiaoping rolled his eyes and put forward his own conditions. He felt that saving the little girl Ruth was just a matter of convenience. According to the Wish Compass, the Mother Earth Stone was most likely in the lair of the 40 Thieves. If they wanted to fight for the Mother Earth Stone, they would definitely clash with the 40 Great Bandits. Since that was the case, it was not a big deal to save the little girl, and he could also get 2 beautiful women. No matter how he looked at it, it was a good thing to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Bah! Xiaoxiu and Sumei spat. Their pretty faces turned red. They wanted to bite this bad egg. Give birth to 3 soccer kids? What did he think they were? Even a sow wouldn't give birth to so many. Oh right, I seem to remember something. Did you meet with my sister Suji before? Last time when you met her, her expression seemed very strange, as if she was restless. Did you do something to her? Sumei looked at Xiaoping with a slightly dangerous expression. That's right. Jiang Yaru, Nangong Wu, and Chu Rong are also very strange. They always say some inexplicable things. From time to time, they would be absent-minded, and their faces would turn red. They even couldn't help but scold some bastard. Could it be that you did something bad to them? Xiaoxiu also narrowed her eyes as she thought of this matter. As a woman's sixth sense, she always felt that this matter was very strange. If you want to take both sisters and bully my sister, then don't blame me for being impolite. You can forget about that harmful thing on your body. Sumei said through clenched teeth. Killing intent leaked out from between her teeth. Xiaoping coughed, a little guilty. He felt that it was better to talk about saving people. A few hours later, Xiaoping, Xiaoxiu, and Sumei came to an agreement. They would save people unconditionally, and this family matter would be put aside for the time being. After all, saving people was more important. Who knew what would happen to Ruth if they delayed it for a while? She might even be sold to another corner of the universe as a slave. At that time, in the vast universe, it would be very difficult to find her whereabouts. Whoosh! The stars were extremely fast. They immediately flew toward the star field where the 40 Pirates Alliance was located. Xiaoping looked into the distance. In front of the stars, they had arrived at a mysterious star field nearby. He immediately sensed that there was a vast restrictive formation in the distance. It covered the void, and there was almost no gap. Any spaceship that tried to get close would be blocked. In the distant void, a huge invisible space barrier appeared. Ordinary power could not shake the power of this formation. Hell's golden crow eyes. Xiaoping's eyes penetrated the void, penetrated the space barrier, and directly saw the scene in the depths of this restrictive formation. There were a total of 30,000 planets inside. Each planet was distributed in a different location. They formed the nodes of the formation and provided endless energy for the formation. Each planet was filled with an intense, fiendish aura. It seemed to communicate with the blood fiend dimension and condense the fiendish aura of heaven and earth. It was an extremely fiendish place. If an enemy barged in, they would immediately be ambushed and devoured by the formation. Even an immortal saint would be trapped in the formation and fall into a bitter battle. It seems that this so-called 40 Pirates Alliance has experts. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. It was no wonder that this pirate alliance could run amok to this day. They had an immortal saint supporting them, and it was not just one immortal saint. It seemed that the depths of this nest contained a huge, secret, and unfathomable killing intent. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, thousands of pirate ships appeared nearby. Each pirate ship was extremely ferocious. They were armed to the teeth, and there were traces of damage everywhere. It was obvious that they had experienced countless battles. As if sensing the approaching pirate ships, a gap opened in the depths of the void. It was like a huge beast opening its mouth, and it was enough to accommodate many pirate ships. It's this place. Sume and Xioshu both became nervous. It was precisely because the security was so tight that they tried everything to enter, even taking a huge risk. Enter. Xiaoping moved his thoughts and controlled the stars. The numerous stars immediately concealed their aura, compressed the size of their spaceship, and quietly followed behind these pirate ships, quietly entering. Chapter 2110. After entering the 40 Pirate Alliance's starfield, one of the spaceships belonged to the Banana Pirates. There was a yellow banana carved on the hull. It was quite famous in the One Piece world. We finally returned to the pirate starfield. This place is our paradise. That's right. As long as we can return to this place, no matter what bad things we do outside, those human sects and countries won't be able to send people to capture us. This place is simply heaven. As long as you have money, you can eat and drink well. Jia. We made a lot of money this time. After going back, we must enjoy ourselves. I have been coveting the beauties in that nightclub for a long time. It seems that there are beauties of all races. That's for sure. At this moment, they returned with a full load. They robbed a commercial spaceship and obtained a huge amount of treasure. Now, they were holding a celebration on the spaceship. Every pirate was in high spirits. At this moment, a figure flashed, broke through the space, and directly entered the spaceship. Boom! Suddenly, ripples appeared in the space of the spaceship. This was a powerful spiritual fluctuation. An illusion world descended and enveloped the entire spaceship. Immediately, all the pirates fell into the illusion and were unable to extricate themselves. The person who appeared here was Xiaoping. Is it over? With a whoosh, Qiushu and Su Mei jumped out of the void and arrived on the spaceship. Well, it's done. Now that they are under my illusion, they are already my puppets. I can ask them anything I want. Xiaoping said confidently. After advancing to the late stage of the Thunder Retribution realm, his spiritual power skyrocketed. His illusion realm has almost reached the point of passing off the fake as the real thing. Not to mention these small pirates. Even the immortal saints may not be able to resist his illusion. The reason why he controlled these pirates is that he is not familiar with the specific situation of this starfield. To avoid unnecessary trouble, he decided to first capture the pirates of a spaceship and learn various information about this starfield from them. Thinking of this, he waved his hand and said, "Who is the leader of this ship?" "I am a captain of this pirate ship, Letty." At this time, a middle-aged man in a suit walked over. He had blonde hair and blue eyes. There was a scar on his face. He held a cane in his hand and had a fierce look on his face. But at this moment, his eyes were filled with confusion. He had completely fallen into the illusion, treating Xia Ping as the closest person to him. "Very well. Tell me about the specific situation of this pirate starfield," Xia Ping asked. After a while, from Captain Letty's mouth, they also learned a little information about the pirate starfield. First of all, although this starfield is known as the 40 Pirate Alliance, in fact, it is the gathering place of most of the pirates in the South Universe. Not only are there the 40 Pirate Alliance, but there are also countless pirates joining in. They are countless small pirates who are protected by the 40 Pirate Alliance. It can be said that this star field is a paradise for pirates in the Southern Universe, a paradise for crime. No matter what crimes are committed outside, no one will pursue them in this place. Moreover, it was very easy to join the 40 Thieves Alliance. One only needed to become a member and register. They seemed to be thirsty for talents and didn't care about the quality of their subordinates. This has also led to the Pirate Star territory being a mix of crooks and honest people with all kinds of criminals. However, if they weren't from the 40 Great Bandit Alliance, they would definitely be hunted down once they entered. There would be no place to hide. "What about the Black Fox Pirates? Who are they?" Xiu asked immediately. The Black Fox Pirates can be regarded as one of the 3 strongest pirate groups in the 40 Pirate Alliance. Speaking of this, Captain Letty showed a look of worship. They have many strong subordinates, a total of 100,000 spaceships, almost across the entire South Universe, and even other regions of the universe have their branches. And their main business is the slave trade. Ordinary pirates only rob spaceships, but they are different. They directly rob the entire planet, burning, killing, and looting. I don't know how many human countries have been killed by the Black Fox Pirates. He said that the Black Fox Pirates are very cruel and have the strength to compete with a human country. They killed one planet after another and don't know how many people died in their hands. It can be said that the Black Fox Pirates can be regarded as the largest slave trading organization in the South Universe. They have monopoly privileges and are inextricably linked to the major forces in the South Universe. This is a super pirate organization that countless pirates are eager to join. Where is the headquarters of the Black Fox Pirates? Where do they usually put the slaves they captured? Sume narrowed her eyes and asked. "On the pirate planet," Captain Letty said in a deep voice. "This is the largest planet in the pirate starfield, and it is also the center of business and political power. In fact, it is not only the Black Fox Pirates. The headquarters of the 40 pirate groups are on this planet. There are many powerful people and pirates. As for the other planets, they're just small pirate groups. Young Mao Injin, as for where they put the slaves they captured, it is actually a well-known thing. They are generally placed in the slave arena, where the slaves of their respective powerful races can fight bloody battles. At the same time, they can also trade all kinds of slave girls. Many slave merchants from all over the universe will come to the slave arena to trade." He showed a trace of envy, as if living on the pirate planet is an incomparably glorious thing. But Xia Ping can hear that it is obviously not only pirates who can enter and leave this place, but also dark merchants from all over the universe. They are all doing some shameful business. After all, these pirates must find a channel to sell the things they robbed. This is the so-called selling stolen goods, so it is natural for them to collude with the powerful people from all over the universe. "Then can you enter the pirate planet?" Xiu asked. "Of course, there's no problem. All of us pirates can go to the pirate planet to spend money and trade. The problem is that the place is too expensive. Accommodation, food, and so on are very expensive. It is not a place that we small pirates can stay for a long time," Captain Letty said helplessly. "At most, we can stay for a few days, and then we will go bankrupt. This is the cruelty of the world of pirates. If you have no money, you will be very miserable wherever you go." Very well. Then we are a member of the Banana Pirates, and we are one of the top members, and I am your real master behind the scenes. Xiaoping decided to pretend to be one of the members of the Banana Pirates and sneak into the pirate planet to find the girl Ruth. Yes, master. Chapter 2111. Pirate Planet. Slave Arena. Black Fox Pirates headquarters in a huge cage. He saw that there were many slaves and women imprisoned around the cages. They came from different races and were densely packed together. The number of people had already exceeded 100,000. This was simply a huge slave market. These young female slaves were tied with shackles, chains, slave collars, and so on, so they couldn't run away. Even if they ran away, they could immediately detonate the slave collars, blowing up the young female slaves, leaving nothing behind. It's over. It's all over. We were caught by the notorious Black Fox Pirates. We can't run away. We will be sold all over the universe. No one will be able to find us again. Yes, we will be put on the auction stage. Those rich people in the universe will auction below. But isn't slavery abolished long ago? How dare these bastards do such a thing? They are pirates. They dare not do anything. They simply do all kinds of evil. Is there no one who can control them? It's useless. They have run amok in the universe for many years. Even human countries can't do anything to them. It is said that they have a saint behind them. They are so unscrupulous. Many slaves were frightened and extremely uneasy. Some even hugged each other. It seems that only this can temporarily relieve their inner uneasiness. How could this be? I just saw a recruitment notice on the network, saying that I can become a big star. I didn't expect to become a slave. Let me out. A slave shouted. She was born in a humble family. She wanted to find a high-paying job to make up for her family. She didn't expect to come to the interview place to be caught and ended up in this ghost place. It's useless. They're pirates. They kill people. They killed my brother, my parents, and even my grandfather. I can't live under the same sky with them. A young woman clenched her fists. She has a blood feud with the Black Fox Pirates. Damn Black Fox Pirates. One day, I will never let them go. How could this be? I'm worthless. I'm not worth anything at all. Hurry up and let us go. Otherwise, the police will not let you go. You devils. Some slave girls cried out in grief. They were just ordinary people living in a peaceful place, but it was because of the appearance of the Black Fox Pirates that everything was destroyed. Shut up. If you dare to utter another word, I'll kill all of you. A jailer shouted with a murderous look in his eyes. It was obvious that he was a ruthless killer. He immediately scared all the slaves and young women. TSK, TSK, don't be angry. These slaves are high-quality goods. They are goods that can be sold for a high price. You can't treat them so roughly. Next to him, a fat pirate with big ears and a thick gold necklace around his neck walked out and laughed. His pair of small eyes flashed with the light of a Japanese merchant, looking very greedy. Supervisor. The surrounding prison guards all stepped forward and saluted respectfully. Keep an eye on them. These young slave girls will be auctioned tonight. At that time, there will be high officials and nobles from all over the universe auctioning them on the internet. Don't let them get hurt, and don't let them commit suicide or harm themselves. Otherwise, it will lower the price of these goods and make those big shots unhappy. Do you understand? The fat pirate reminded. His face was very serious. Don't worry, Supervisor. If any guy dares to mess around, I will immediately inject hallucinogen into them. At that time, they won't be able to move. The jailer laughed. The so-called hallucinogen Y is actually a drug with a strong effect. Once it is injected, these young slave girls will not be able to move even if they have a strong will to resist. Very good. With you here, I'm relieved. By the way, how is the young Tran girl Ruth? Did she resist? There's a big man who likes her. After all, the Trans are a very precious race. They're not easy to get. The fat supervisor asked. Don't worry, Supervisor. I've already arranged for the young Trant girl, but it is strange that she is very calm and didn't yell like other young slave girls. The jailer said with a little doubt. It's nothing strange. It's good that she didn't yell. Even if she has any tricks up her sleeves, in short, we will sell her today and make a lot of money. The fat supervisor was too lazy to care so much. All he cared about was business. Yes, Supervisor. The jailer nodded, and then the supervisor left. In the deepest part of the cage, a young Trant girl was sitting quietly in the corner. She had emerald green hair, very fluffy. She seemed to be 12 or 13 years old, and she was wearing black steel shackles. Sister. The young Trant girl squeezed her fist. She was not as calm as she looked on the surface. After all, she was only about 13 years old. Her family was destroyed, and she was captured as a slave. It was impossible for her to calm down. Only the amber necklace in her hand seemed to give her a trace of courage. Lord God seems to be here. Suddenly, the Trant young woman raised her head. She seemed to have sensed something and was very happy. Her emerald green hair trembled and fluttered in the air, blossoming with bursts of green light and exuding endless vitality. Suddenly, all the injuries on her body healed, and an infinite power poured out of her. At the moment, on the other side, the banana pirate ship soon arrived on the planet and came to the port. They saw a dense number of pirates around the port. All of them were fierce and exuding a murderous aura. Obviously, they're all murderous people. They are all wanted criminals in the universe. If someone sweeps here with a gun, it is guaranteed that no one who dies is innocent. Master, this is the pirate planet. As for the slave arena, it is not far ahead. Captain Letty said respectfully to Xiaoping. Very good, you go ahead, I will go by myself. Xiaoping waved his hand and let Letty leave. Since they have come to the pirate planet, Letty is useless. Yes, the surrounding group of pirates quickly left. Huh, Xiaoping's heart moved. Suddenly, the world tree in the depths of his sea of consciousness shook. It seems that a wisp of aura has triggered the power of the world tree. It seems that something in this place is attracting it. What's wrong? Xiaoxiu and Su Mei saw that Xiaoping's expression was a little wrong. Nothing, I just have a special feeling about this planet. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. Let's go to the slave arena. Chapter 21:12. It didn't take long for Xiaoping, Su Mei, and Autumn Snow to come near the slave arena. It was a slave trading market, and it was magnificent everywhere. However, this place was heavily guarded, and there was a powerful defense system installed in the surroundings. There were also a large number of guards with guns in their hands, and they looked like fiends. It seems that there are not many people who can enter this place. Stop, you guys, what are you doing here? Don't you know that outsiders are not allowed to enter? Immediately, a few pirate soldiers in front of them shouted and stopped Xiaoping and others from approaching. Isn't there a slave trade here? We are here to buy slaves. Xiaoping asked. Buy slaves? Which pirate group are you from? A pirate soldier asked. Banana pirates. Xiaoping replied. The banana pirates, is that the poor and despicable pirate group? Suddenly, the pirate soldier showed a disgusted look and waved his hand. You want to buy slaves with your poor appearance? Don't joke around. Don't you know that this is a high-class place? We are not selling ordinary slaves. Each of them is worth a lot of money. Hurry up and get out of here, otherwise don't blame me for being rude. He obviously looks down on these third-rate pirates. In this starfield, third-rate pirates represent gangsters. They're at the bottom of the hierarchy. They have no money except for eating and drinking. Money is not a problem. I don't have anything else on me, but I have too much money. I'm afraid I can't spend it. Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back. Keep bragging, I'm listening. The pirate soldier sneered. With a whiz, Xiaoping took out a small bag of crystal fragrant rice from his body and presented it in front of the pirate soldier. Suddenly, the air exuded a rich fragrance of spirit rice, which shocked the pirate soldier. What? This is crystal rice, the top spirit rice. Even a small bag is worth a lot of money, at least millions of universe coins. Where did you get it? Did you rob a child of a big family? Seeing this bag of spirit rice, the pirate soldier's eyes almost popped out, and he couldn't wait to grab it and take it for himself. Because it wasn't as simple as rice, it was the highest grade of spiritual rice. Every grain was worth a fortune, and that was money. You don't have to worry about that. I have a lot of spirit rice like this. It's more than enough to buy 8 or 10 beautiful female slaves. Xiaoping took back the spirit rice, looking like he was rich and overbearing. Lucky bastard. Go in. The nearby pirate soldiers were so jealous that their intestines turned green. They knew that this bastard must have been lucky enough to rob a child of a big family. Otherwise, how could he get so much precious spirit rice and suddenly make a huge windfall? Since they knew that the other party was rich, they could not stop this guy from entering, so they could only let him go. What dog's asterisk tea luck? You can't eat the grapes and say that the grapes are sour. Like you low-level soldiers, even if you join the big pirates, you will still be at the bottom all your life, guarding the door. Do you want to change your job? For example, be my doorkeeper. I can double your salary. Xiao Ping was arrogant. F***CK. This bitch. Look at your sister's door. The surrounding pirate soldiers were so angry that their faces turned green. This guy is actually a villain. He has a few stinky money, and he actually began to show off in front of them. He even wants to hire them to guard the door. It's really outrageous. They can't wait to rush up and beat this kid. But the Black Fox pirates have strict rules. They don't dare to casually make a move, lest they violate the rules and be severely punished. After saying this, Xiao Ping didn't look at the reaction of these pirates and directly walked in with Qiushu and Su Mei, looking like a nouveau riche, arrogant as he can be. Damn, this banana pirate's bastard is too arrogant. It's really annoying. That's right, he just got lucky and robbed a rich man. He became rich overnight. He actually showed off in front of us and asked us to guard the door. Now look at his face. A man's wealth is his own ruin. This brat is dead for sure. I'll rob him later and take away all his goods. Let's see if he can still be so arrogant then. That's a good idea. Once he is alone, we will rob him. Anyway, he is just a small member of the banana pirates. Juhuai Dust. CK Me is a coward. Several Black Fox pirate soldiers next to him showed a sinister smile. They planned to rob Xiao Ping later. They wanted to take advantage of him. At this moment, Xiao Ping, Qiushu, and Su Mei walked into the slave market. They saw that this market is extremely huge. It covers an area like a forbidden city. Steel cages are built everywhere. Inside the cages are slaves who have been captured from all over the universe. These slaves are all tied with handcuffs and shackles. Their clothes are ragged and they look dispirited. There are spacious roads between the cages for guests to choose slaves. It's like entering a zoo and you can see both sides. It had to be said that the business in this place was very good. Many slave traders from all over the universe appeared in this place to bargain with the Black Fox pirates. At this time, a middle-aged fat man with a big belly and a gold chain around his neck came in front of him. He was followed by 3 men and went straight to Xiao Ping. You are a member of the Banana Pirates. Do you have crystal rice on you? Is this true or false? How much do you have? The middle-aged fat man went straight to the point. He got the information from his men and immediately rushed over. So much that you can't eat it. Xiao Ping said with a smile. Brother, you must be joking. You don't know how powerful our Black Fox pirates are. We can eat as much as we want. The middle-aged fat man said proudly. Obviously, he is very confident in the financial resources of the Black Fox pirates. I won't talk nonsense with you. Xiao Ping waved his hand. I'm here just to buy some special slaves. I don't know if you have any. The price is not a problem at all. Special slaves? What special slaves do you want? There are slaves from all major races in the universe. I'm afraid you don't have enough money. The middle-aged fat man's eyes turned and revealed a glimmer of light. Not enough. Is this enough? With a snap, Xiao Ping waved his hand and immediately took out a large bag of crystal rice from his body and smashed it on the ground. The dust splashed on the ground, at least hundreds of kilograms. What? The eyes of the surrounding pirates were green. Just a small bag of crystal rice was worth millions of universe coins. Now there's a big bag, hundreds of kilograms. How much is it worth? It is simply unimaginable. Interesting. It seems that you really came prepared. Tell me, what slaves do you want? Chapter 21:13. Trant slave. I got the news that you caught a Trant here, so I want to buy her. Xiao Ping said straightforwardly. You are well informed. We just caught a Trant slave. How do you know? The middle-aged fat man was surprised. He didn't expect his internal information to be leaked out. It was incredible that a small banana pirates knew about it. Qiushu and Su Mei suddenly felt nervous and looked at each other. Ruth is really here, but it's not necessarily It may be another treant. They can't be happy for the time being. They still try to hide their emotions. Snakes have their own ways, and rats have their own ways. It's not a big deal to know some information. With money, you could buy any information. Xiaoping said carelessly. Just tell me, how much does it cost to buy that Tran tribe slave? This is a big deal. We can't talk about it here. Let's go to the VIP room to talk. The middle-aged fat man made an inviting gesture. Okay. Xiaoping nodded and followed the middle-aged fat man in front of him all the way to the deepest part of the market, a spacious and magnificent VIP room. The noise around them suddenly disappeared. They were the only ones left around, and the Black Fox pirates. To be honest, it's not impossible for you to buy the trance slave, but now there is a problem. That is, the trance slave is favored by a big man. He paid a lot of money to reserve it tonight. We can't break our promise. The middle-aged fat man's eyes turned and said, Just tell me, how much do you need? Xiaoping saw at a glance that the fat man wanted to raise the price. Well, the price doesn't matter. It depends on your sincerity. If your sincerity is enough, we may give up such a big customer and give up the reputation we have accumulated over the years. The middle-aged fat man said with a smile. He kicked the ball back. He refused to tell the real price. Interesting, I have seen a lot of greedy people, but I have never seen someone as greedy as you. But I have money. Do you think such a 100,000-year-old elixir is enough? Xiaoping didn't change his expression. He took out a 100,000-year-old elixir, ice grass, and suddenly the depths of the void were filled with a bone-penetrating chill. It seemed that the ground was frozen. What? This is a 100,000-year-old spirit herb, ice grass. It contains the power of the 9 heavens. Consuming it will immediately increase one's magic power by several thousand years. It's a peerless spirit herb that even Thunder Retribution Realm experts covet. It's priceless, truly priceless. Heavens! I have only seen 100,000-year-old spiritual herbs in auctions. No one would sell or would trade them in the real world. This is too ridiculous. There was once a person who was willing to use a commercial planet to exchange for a 100,000-year-old spirit herb, but he was unable to exchange for it. The value is just that shocking. Suddenly, many of the Black Fox pirates present were short of breath, and their eyes were red. It seemed that they couldn't believe what they saw. A 100,000-year-old elixir was too scary. However, this was nothing to Xiaoping, who knew how many were planted in the space of the mountain and River Pearl. Interesting. The fat middle-aged man's eyes revealed a greedy glint. His breathing quickened as he said, If it's really 100,000 years old frigid ice grass, then it's more than enough to buy a Trant tribe slave. However, I need to appraise it to see if it's real. That's not a problem. Xiaoping handed over the elixir. The fat middle-aged man took it and looked at it carefully. His small eyes immediately became sharp. Yes, this is indeed 100,000 years old frigid ice grass, but it's stolen goods. It was stolen from the treasure house of the Black Fox pirates. Just 3 days ago, we lost a lot of treasures in the treasure house of the Black Fox pirates. There was crystal rice and this 100,000 years old frigid ice grass, but we couldn't find the thief. I didn't expect you to come to us in person today. Your courage is really fat. Now that you're caught red-handed, I want to see what else you can say. Immediately take it down for me. He yelled and stared at Xiaoping with a murderous look. What bullshit stolen goods? This is our treasure. How could it be lost by your Black Fox pirates? Do you want to rob us? Do you want to lose all the credibility of the Black Fox pirates? Xioshu scolded. She didn't expect this group of pirates to be so lawless. They want to rob us. They don't want to give the slaves, and they even want to swallow the elixir. I advise you not to act rashly. If you want to frame us, you have to look at the person. Don't do something that you will regret. Sumei said coldly, warning the Black Fox pirates. Don't act rashly. Hearing this, a pirate suddenly laughed. Who do you think you are? 2 or 3 people, a small role in a third-rate pirate group. You dare to threaten us? Have you measured your own strength? What a joke. Can't you see the current situation? Don't do something that you will regret. Even if we kill you, who would dare to say anything to the Black Fox pirates? That's right. Even if we kill you, I guarantee that your captain won't even dare to fart. Many members of the Black Fox pirates laughed as if they were watching a few jokes. They were fearless and unscrupulous. They didn't care about the thoughts of Xiaoping and others at all. Don't talk nonsense. Immediately arrest these 3 little thieves. Torture them and force them to tell us where the stolen goods are. The middle-aged fat man ordered his men to capture all 3 of them. The reason why he took the 3 of them into the VIP room before was not a trade with them. He was just worried that there would be too many guests outside. If he forced them, it would cause adverse effects and destroy the reputation of the Black Fox Pirates. However, it was different in the VIP lounge. There were few people around. If they were to make a move here, no one would be able to help them. This group of people could only let them do whatever they wanted. As soon as his voice fell, Xiaoping made a move and gently pointed. Dong! Suddenly, the middle-aged fat man's chest was pierced and his heart was crushed. A large amount of blood flowed out and dyed the ground red. I'm dead. You damn bitch, you dare to kill me? You dare to kill me in the base camp of the Black Fox Pirates? The middle-aged fatty was dumbfounded. He simply didn't dare to imagine that this damned third-rate slut would actually dare to attack him, explode his heart with a single move, and kill him on the spot. A strong pain quickly spread throughout his body. I don't dare to kill you. Who do you think you are? Your captain is here. If I want to kill you, do I still need to discuss with you? You want to learn from others? You don't know what kind of virtue you have. Xiaoping gently waved his hand, and with a bang, the middle-aged fat man's body was immediately torn apart and completely shattered. Chapter 21:14. In the arena. For a time, all the pirates in the slave arena heard the alarm and quickly rushed over. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In less than a minute, powerful pirates appeared nearby. They were all high-level members of the Black Fox Pirates. They quickly rushed over to see what was going on. They're all masters. Su Mei and Qiushu's faces were solemn. They could sense that the newcomers were very powerful. They were at least in the Golden Elixir realm and had condensed powerful spells. Moreover, each of them seemed to contain a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood, as well as a boundless killing intent. It could be imagined that they were all extremely cruel and murderous. Damn it, who is it? How dare they kill people in the territory of the Black Fox Pirates? Surrender immediately and kneel down to beg for mercy. Otherwise, I'll kill your entire family and your entire clan. Attack. Capture this guy. I want him to be stuck between life and death. One by one, the senior G division of the Black Fox Pirates rushed over, fierce and fast as thunder. S3, when they came to the VIP room and saw Xiaoping, Qiushu, and Su Mei standing there, they immediately knew that these 3 must be the culprits. They didn't say anything and attacked on the spot. Boom! Suddenly, the entire arena shook as if there was a super earthquake. All the chi of heaven and earth swept over, forming a terrible storm that covered the sky and covered the earth. One terrifying divine ability after another blasted over, interweaving with each other. Like a meteor shower, they blasted towards Xiaoping and the other 2, causing all the energy in the world to explode. They didn't have any intention of holding back at all. Their attacks were fatal. Insignificant tricks. Who gave you the courage to attack me? Xiaoping sighed. If it was a few years ago, these people could still pose a threat to him. But now, they were nothing more than ants. He took a deep breath and blew it out. Rumble. Suddenly, the sky and earth shook and the stars fell. It seemed to have formed an apocalyptic storm. The wind whistled, and every airflow formed a terrible wind blade, cutting the space. Bang, bang, bang. In an instant, all the divine ability formations shattered and turned into a ball of vital energy. Dozens of senior G Division members of the Black Fox Pirates who came from afar showed a horrified expression. Their bodies immediately collapsed, inch by inch, and all of them exploded. They couldn't even resist for a second. Even the huge buildings in the distance were destroyed, all collapsing and turning into rubble. The ground seemed to have countless shocking cracks that were several kilometers long. These were all traces left behind by the wind blades. It was as if a massive earthquake had occurred, destroying everything in its path. Too strong. Qiushu and Su Mei were both dumbfounded. They also knew that Xia Ping's current strength was not what it used to be. He had already reached the martial arts realm of the human clan's almighty. However, this was the first time they had seen Xia Ping in action. They did not expect him to be so powerful. Even in the universe, such strength could be considered a tyrannical existence. The aura that triggered the world tree seems to be underground. Xia Ping moved his mind and stepped on the ground. Thump, thump, thump. Chapter 21:15. Such an intense battle and strong energy fluctuations swept through the entire pirate planet, alarming the 40 pirate lords. All the pirates knew about this matter. Omega Delta. Omega. My God, what the hell happened? It seems that there is chaos in the slave arena, and an intruder came in to make trouble. What? Slave arena? Isn't that the headquarters of the Black Fox Pirates? That place is full of restrictions and masters. Someone dares to make trouble in that place. Does he want to die? It's not that the dragon doesn't cross the river. That invader is extremely tyrannical. Many of the Black Fox Pirates' Senior G Division were killed. That's called a river of blood. Song Zong. Who the hell dares to make trouble in our 40 pirate alliance? I don't know. In short, this incident alarmed the elders of the pirate planet. They are all angry and want to punish this abominable intruder and give him an unforgettable lesson. On the pirate planet, countless pirates were talking about it. They were also shocked because they don't know how many years have passed. The pirate planet has been quiet, and no one has ever dared to come here. Now, there are people who dare to kill people in the territory of the Black Fox Pirates. This is simply a slap in the face of the Black Fox Pirates and the 40 Pirate Alliance. This is an intolerable thing, and this will also make them the public enemy of all pirates. For a time, all the pirates moved and sent countless masters to the slave arena. S3, because now it is not only a matter of the Black Fox Pirates, but also a matter of the face of all the pirates in the 40 Pirate Alliance. At this moment, in the underground slave cage. Who is it? Do you know that this is an important prison of the Black Fox Pirates? How dare you break in? Are you not afraid of death? Are you not afraid of being chased by the Black Fox Pirates? Stop! The intruder, stop immediately, or we will shoot. Do you know how fierce the Black Fox Pirates are? Do you know how notorious we are? Seeing Xia Ping coming down, many of the Black Fox Pirates jailers who were staying in the underground cage were alarmed. They were frightened and stared at the terrible intruder with weapons in their hands. They are fierce in appearance, but cowardly in heart, warning fiercely. Xia Ping glanced at them. Just a single glance. Boom! The bodies of all the prison guards started burning. A ball of flame spread from the inside out of their bodies and immediately turned into a huge torch. In a few breaths, they were burned to ashes. They didn't even have the chance to scream before they were burned to death. This was the terror of Awakening 2. For billion infernal golden crow cells. Just a glance was enough to trigger the power of void flames and set the enemy on fire. If his bloodline was just a little stronger, the blood energy in his body would probably reach an unimaginable level. If a mortal were to approach him, they would be burned to death and turned into ashes. This was the eternal and inextinguishable ether Y. It was a flame that mortals could not get close to, could not look directly at, and could not understand. Using these flames to wipe out this group of prison guards was like using a butcher's knife to kill. Yes, this is the place. Xia Ping's figure flashed and arrived at the deepest part of the cage. He saw a young woman with emerald green hair imprisoned here. Her body exuded a quiet and peaceful aura of life, seemingly inextricably linked to the world tree. Dense and mysterious green runes appeared on her skin, containing a powerful life force. It was as if she was not a human, but a towering tree. Lord God, you are here. Sensing Xia Ping's aura approaching, the young woman seemed very happy. Ruth. At this time, Qiushu and Sumei both shouted with a very excited expression. They recognized this young woman as Ruth of the Tree Clan, who they wanted to rescue this time. Sister Qiushu, Sister Su, I knew you would definitely come back to save me. And you even brought Lord God. Seeing Qiushu and Sumei, the young woman Ruth also seemed very happy. Lord God? What's a God Master? Could it be this bad guy? Qiushu pointed at Xiaoping. Yes, he is not Lord God, but he has the aura of Lord God. This is the god of our tree clan, the origin and ruler of everything. The young woman Ruth said seriously, her expression very respectful and sincere. What the hell? Qiushu and Su Mei were both confused, not knowing what Ruth was talking about. S3, well, don't worry about it too much. If you have anything to say, wait until later. There are a lot of enemies coming. Xiaoping made a move, and with a slap, the whole cage collapsed. The chains, shackles, and slave collars on Ruth's body were completely shattered, and she regained her freedom. But he also knew what Ruth meant. Maybe she was talking about the world tree on his body. After all, the world tree is indeed the source of all plant life, the ancestor of plant life, and these tree clan may be inextricably linked to the world tree. It is even possible that the tree clan has mastered the key to the growth of the world tree. Lord God, can you save them? They are all innocent. Ruth pointed to some of the imprisoned slave girls nearby, her face showing a pleading look. When the slaves around heard these words, all of them showed their desire. Instead of staying here and being sold by pirates, it is better to be rescued by this powerful human in front of them. They are all eager to restore their freedom. If they are sold to all parts of the universe, they will really be finished, and they will live a life worse than death. Save them? Xiaoping touched his chin, thinking about the gains and losses of this matter. At this time, the voice of the Green Ox came, Master, now the space of the Mountain River Pearl has expanded a lot, adding a lot of wide fields and farmland. We need a lot of manpower. Maybe these slaves could be used as manpower. It wants to fill some manpower and reduce its workload. Yes, this idea is good. I like these slaves. Xiaoping felt that he can catch a bunch of coolies. Boom! Thinking of this, he slapped the whole underground cage, and the shackles, slave collars, and other things that bound the freedom of the slaves were all shattered. He used his power to the peak, and it was superb. Walala, Xiaoping grabbed again, and a huge black hole portal appeared in the depths of the void, and suddenly all the slaves were sucked in by the portal and fell into the space of the Mountain River Pearl. One by one, the slaves screamed, but there was nothing they could do. You guys go in too. Xiaoping also threw Qiushu, Su Mei, and Ruth in. After all, this place has the support of a saint. If there is a real battle, they will not be able to withstand a shock. Chapter 21:16. There seems to be a treasure house in front. Look, small. After capturing all the young female slaves, Xiaoping's spiritual awareness penetrated every corner nearby and immediately perceived that there was a huge treasure house not far ahead. Presumably, this must be the place where the Black Fox pirates hide their treasures. Such a super pirate group that has been in the universe for many years must have plundered an amazing amount of treasures every year. It was impossible for him to miss out on such a benefit. Whiz! Xiaoping's figure flashed and immediately approached the treasure house. He found that there were a lot of Black Fox pirate soldiers near the treasure house. They also found Xiaoping at once. Damn, the enemy is coming. Kill him. We can't let him get close to our treasure house. Elder immediately informed the elders to come over. The treasure house can't be lost. Many pirates shouted loudly. They didn't expect that after this fierce dragon destroyed the slave cage, he was so bold that he came to the treasure house of their pirate group. This is simply a plan to unite with their Black Fox pirates to the death. S3, bastard, you dare to break into the treasure house of my Black Fox pirates. You are dreaming, die for me. In the blink of an eye, 3 black-clothed old men flew out of the treasure house. Their strength had reached the Thunder Retribution realm. They were fierce and fiendish, clawing over like archaic, vicious birds. The strength of these 3 elders was not inferior to that of an elder from a sacred sect. Generally speaking, with such a top powerhouse guarding the treasure house, it is absolutely foolproof. From this point, it can be seen how much the Black Fox pirates value this treasure house. It is definitely the lifeblood of the Black Fox pirates. Get lost. Xiaoping didn't even look at them as he slapped out with his palm. With a loud bang, the 3 black-robed old men immediately let out miserable screams. All of their divine abilities and spells were shattered into pieces. Even their bodies were slapped like flies. They flew out and slammed into the wall of the treasure house. They were immediately smashed into pieces. They couldn't even resist for a second. The current Xia Ping was not someone that these Thunder Tribulation Realm cultivators could resist. Just his brute force alone could kill a Thunder Tribulation Realm expert on the spot and turn him into a paste. Monster, this is a monster. Run. We're no match for him. We're not his match. Seeing that the three elders were killed with a single slap, all the Black Fox pirate soldiers were scared to death. They immediately dropped their weapons and did not dare to stay in the same place, and quickly fled. After a while, all the pirates in this place ran away. This treasure trove has used some pretty good materials. Xia Ping narrowed his eyes. With a single glance, he could tell that this treasury was made with black crystals, purple silver, fine gold, brilliant white steel, and other materials. It was incomparably sturdy, and there were also many restrictive arrays engraved on it. Even a Thunder Tribulation Realm expert wouldn't be able to penetrate it. Unfortunately, it was useless to him. Held Golden Crow Fire. Xia Ping gently slapped his palm over. His entire palm turned into a dark golden flame. It burned fiercely and slapped the wall. Immediately, the wall melted at a speed visible to the naked eye. Even the famous precious metals in the universe couldn't withstand the temperature and scorching heat of the Hell Golden Crow Fire. They melted one after another, burning through a cave the size of a person. All the restrictive arrays were shattered and turned into nothingness. So many treasures. Xia Ping stepped into the treasury. The first thing he saw was that this treasury was filled with top-notch spirit stones. Everywhere was filled with rich heaven and earth spiritual chi. This was an extremely pure energy. With so many spirit stones piled up, it was like a mountain. If outsiders saw this, they would definitely be scared to death. It was unknown how many universe dollars these spirit stones were worth. He turned to look. In another place, there was a large number of universe rare ores, such as 10 millennia cold iron, black crystal, purple silver, adamantine, white brilliant steel, earth crystal, azure falling stone, CC jade, and so on. They were all extremely rare ores. Any one of them could be used to refine peerless spirit weapons. Piled up together, they emitted a rich aura of Gungjin. It was as if countless sword auras were buzzing and cutting through space. Sensing these ores, the H-Gold slime seemed to be very excited and transmitted a joyful emotion. In addition to these precious ores, there were also a large number of spirit Y, such as Winterthorn Sea, Icecap Sea, Nightmare Vine, Earthroot Sea, Graveyard Moss, Tai YY Sea, Peacebloom Sea, Mountain Rat Sea, Ghost Mushroom, and so on. They were all relatively precious spirit Y. Although their age was not very high, there were many varieties. If they were cultivated by the Green Bull, they would definitely be able to produce many more 100,000-year-old spirit Y. Perhaps even a good holy Y could be cultivated among them. As for pill Y, treasures, and the like, there was no need to even mention them. They simply filled up the entire warehouse. Everywhere was filled with pill Y's aura and the glow of treasures. S3, by rough estimation, these treasures added up to trillions of universe credits. Mine, all of them are mine. Xia Ping was very excited and plundered without restraint. He stored all these treasures into the space of his pearl of mountains and rivers, leaving not a single thing behind. In just a few minutes, the entire treasure vault was emptied by him. Not even a scrap of paper was left behind. Right, the materials used to build this treasure vault are also very good. I'll melt them all and take them away. Xia Ping touched his chin and felt that the materials in this treasure vault seemed to be very precious. With a wave of his hand, he immediately activated the infernal Golden Crow's flames and burned the entire treasure vault. Whoosh! In an instant, the entire treasure vault was melted and turned into metal YT, forming a metal river. Then, Xia Ping took the entire metal river away. All that was left of the treasure vault was an empty shell, or rather, a hollowed-out cave. Not a single treasure was left behind. At this time, Xiaoping's unscrupulous behavior completely alarmed the entire pirate planet and attracted the attention of the 40 Pirate Alliance. Countless elders gathered from all directions of the planet. "Bastard! How dare you kill the people of the Black Fox Pirates, rob us of our slaves, and even plunder our treasure vault? You're desecrating the dignity of the Pirate Alliance. You're seeking your own death." A Black Fox pirate leader elder flew out and shouted angrily. His voice spread throughout the entire planet. All the pirates could hear the elder's anger. It was estimated that he even had the intention to exterminate the entire clan of that little thief. "All pirates, listen up. Hide in your houses immediately and don't move. I will immediately activate the pirate planet's restrictive formation and lock on strong enemies. If anyone dares to act rashly, kill them." Chapter 21:17. Dang dang. Dang dang. In an instant, the entire pirate planet rang with alarms. It seemed that a peerless spirit artifact level bell was ringing on a tower that ran through the pirate planet. Free serialization, this was a warning bell that would only be activated at extremely critical moments. However, this warning bell had never been rung since it appeared on the pirate planet. This was the first time it was rung, which shocked all the pirates. Buzz. With the ringing of this warning bell, the entire planet shook. Huge restrictive arrays emerged from the void one after another, covering the entire planet and appearing in every corner of the planet. Above the sky, silver clouds were rolling and condensing into a substance, like a silver river flowing turbulently. It seemed to run through the void and communicate with countless dimensional spaces. On the planet, one city after another activated the restrictive arrays. They echoed with each other and connected together, blooming with endless silver light, filling every city with silver light. Every corner of the planet was emitting a chill that was as cold as the dark clouds. It was as if the entire planet had been frozen. The pirates on the pirate planet were horrified because they sensed that the entire planet was penetrated by countless silver lights. The world's essence was solidified, and their bodies were bound by a mysterious force, unable to move. Under the restraint of such a restrictive array, everyone was a prisoner. S3, they actually reacted so quickly. At this moment, Xiaoping had already plundered the treasure vault clean. He also sensed the omnipresent binding force coming from the depths of the void, seemingly trying to control him. However, this binding force was useless against him. With a little bit of qigong, he could shatter it into pieces. However, it had to be said that the restrictive array on this planet was indeed powerful. If it wasn't him, but any other Thunder Retribution Realm powerhouse who entered this place, it would be like breaking into a dragon's pool. Once they appeared, they would immediately be bound by the restrictive array, unable to move. Moreover, he also sensed that the entire pirate planet seemed to have been refined into a powerful magic weapon by the Pirate Alliance. Every corner of the planet had a restrictive array that was constantly operating. It was like a war fortress containing tyrannical power, almost reaching the power of a low-grade sacred artifact. It was unknown how much effort and resources these pirates had spent on this planet. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Just then, a dense crowd of people appeared where Xiaoping was. There were at least 300 of them. They were all elders of the 40 Great Bandit Alliance. Their strength had all reached the Lightning Tribulation Realm. Many of the elders were even at the peak of the Lightning Tribulation Realm. Their bodies emitted a tyrannical aura that shook the void, causing the entire planet to tremble and tremble continuously. "You little thief! You dare to come to the Pirate Star to make trouble and dare to come to the headquarters of the Black Fox Pirates. Tell me, who gave you such a dog's courage?" A pirate elder shouted angrily. As the center of pirates, no one dared to come here, and it was known as the safest place for pirates. But such a reputation was ended by this damn fanatic today. One could imagine how furious he was right now. He even had the intention to kill this person's entire clan. Wait, what about the treasure house of the Black Fox Pirates? Where are the treasures inside? Where do they go? An elder of the Black Fox Pirates screamed. He found that the treasure house that his pirate group had accumulated for many years and spent a lot of effort to build had disappeared into thin air. He couldn't believe his eyes. "Oh, about that. I've moved all the treasures inside," Xiaoping replied. "Moved? That's impossible. This treasure vault is made of copper and iron. Even a Thunder Retribution Realm expert wouldn't be able to break through it. Why do you have to move it away? Forget about the treasures inside. What about the walls of the treasure vault? Where did its outer shell go? Why is there only an air raid shelter left?" Another Black Fox pirate captain shouted. "Of course it was also moved away. This wall is a good thing. It's made of very precious materials. Wouldn't it be a pity to leave it here?" Xiaoping said matter-of-factly. "It's a pity, you little thief. This is an unparalleled treasure that my Black Fox pirates worked hard to accumulate for many years. It's a lifetime savings. Now you want to move it all away with just a word? You don't even want to leave a strand of hair behind. Are you still human?" With a puff, the Black Fox pirate leader was so angry that he vomited blood on the spot and almost fainted. He couldn't accept such a cruel fact. Why bother? As the saying goes, small wealth doesn't scatter, big wealth doesn't come. Anyway, if you leave the treasures in this place, it will cost you money. It's better for me to take advantage of it. And these are all ill-gotten gains. They were all robbed by you. If you can rob them, why can't I rob them?" Xiaoping said righteously. "Shut up, J-Man. Robbing our things, and you're still in the right? Do you have any shame? J-Man, this bastard is even more abominable than Tao Tai. Even a thief wouldn't be like him when he enters the house. My Black Fox pirates and he are absolutely irreconcilable. Take out all the treasures immediately. Otherwise, we will tear you into pieces today. Robbing the treasures of my Black Fox pirates. You want to do this? If I let you leave alive today, I will commit suicide on the spot and not be a pirate in this life. Kill him, peel off his tendons." Many of the Black Fox pirate leaders were furious. They didn't know how much effort and resources they had spent to obtain the treasures, but now they were all taken away by a brat. All their life savings were gone. Who could bear such a blow? Rumble, in an instant, a group of Black Fox pirate leaders couldn't stand it anymore and immediately attacked Xiaoping together. Hundreds and thousands of magical powers and spells bombarded down, containing the momentum of destroying heaven and earth. It is enough to blow up a planet and leave no bones behind. One can imagine their anger at the moment. Looks like you've all fallen into evil and refuse to repent. Even if you're alive, you'll still bring disaster to the world. If you don't enter hell, who will? I'll be kind and send you on your way." Xiaoping sighed, pinched an orchid in his hand, and slapped it. Buddhist divine ability. The merciful palm of mercy. Suddenly, a huge golden palm print appeared in the depths of the void. On its surface were dense Buddhist scriptures, and in the center of the palm appeared a Buddhist sutra. The symbol appeared in the middle of the palm, emitting infinite golden light. Although it is a Buddhist magical power, this palm contains the aura of annihilation. It seems to open the way to the H-spring. With just one palm, all the magical powers and spells that came into contact with this golden palm print instantly turned into powder and shattered. Dong! A group of Black Fox pirate leaders didn't know what was going on. Their tanks came into contact with the golden light and were hit by Golden Say's palm print. Their entire tanks were broken and torn apart. They couldn't even scream. Chapter 21:18. Retreat, retreat immediately. We can't fight him head-on. Omega Delta Omega. Seeing that all the elders of the Black Fox pirates were dead, the other pirate elders were scared to death. Their faces turned green, and they fled in all directions, wishing that their parents could give them more legs. They knew how powerful these Black Fox pirate elders were. All of them were Thunder Retribution Realm cultivators with tyrannical combat power, no less than any of them. But now, they were slapped to death by this ferocious person in front of them. It was too terrifying. If they were dealt with, they would follow in the footsteps of these Black Fox pirate elders. They were here to annihilate the murderers, not to die. This guy is too strong. We are no match for him in a one-on-one fight. It doesn't matter. In a Pirate Planet's restriction formation, we are 10 times stronger than before. It's useless. This kid is simply a monster. There's no need to fight him. Otherwise, he would definitely be able to drag 10 people down with him before he dies. There's no need to fight him. Immediately activate the heaven system and completely destroy him. That's right. Annihilate him with the strongest power. There's no need to be polite with him. There's no need for a fair fight. Seconded, seconded. Many pirate elders shouted, and they all agreed. At the same time, they activated the authority of the heaven system. Rumble. In an instant, the whole planet shook. Thousands of lasers emerged and interweaved with each other to form a large one, covering the entire pirate star field. In this star field, 30,000 planets vibrated at the same time and activated their energy. A tyrannical war system was running, and endless energy gathered in each node. Huh, heaven system. Xiaoping raised his eyebrows. He also remembered that he had bought a heaven system before. It was worth 5 billion universe dollars. It was extremely powerful and could kill experts under the Thunder Retribution realm. It was always successful in dealing with mortals. He used this heaven system to protect the humans in the cloud realm. However, he did not expect to encounter the heaven system when he came to this pirate star field, and was even used by the pirates to deal with him. Unfortunately, he was now different from the past. A mere heaven system could not do anything to him. Go to hell. Many pirate elders snarled and activated the heaven system at the same time. Shio, shio, shio. In the blink of an eye, a huge laser network appeared in the depths of the void. One after another, azure laser beams blasted down, aiming at Xiaoping. There seemed to be nowhere for him to escape. Furthermore, every laser beam contained enough power to penetrate a planet and kill a Thunder Tribulation Realm expert. Even if a Thunder Tribulation Realm expert was extremely fast, it would be useless no matter where the enemy hid when countless laser beams shot down. As long as the energy source was not exhausted, the system's pursuit of the enemy would not end. It could be said that this was simply the most powerful battle system that specialized in killing mortals. However, Xiaoping stood in the same place and didn't mean to dodge at all. He stood with his hands behind his back and looked at the group of pirate elders faintly. Dong, dong, dong. At this moment, countless laser beams blasted over at the same time, easily piercing through Xiaoping's armor. In an instant, his armor looked like a beehive, with countless holes appearing. Ah, damn thief, you're finally dead. This is the fate of those who offend our 40 pirate alliance. Everyone must die. Seeing this situation, a pirate elder immediately shouted with joy and excitement. No, he's not dead. My God, what kind of monster is this? But before the other party could be happy, a pirate elder's face turned ugly and his armor trembled. It seemed that he couldn't believe what he saw. Everyone looked over and their pupils shrank. They saw that although there were countless holes on Xiaoping's body, there was no blood flowing out. The other party's entire armor seemed to have turned into molten lava. Every hole was filled with a large amount of molten lava. Even if there were thousands of holes, this person couldn't be killed at all. Even in a breath's time, this hole disappeared, and Xiaoping's armor returned to its original state. It was as if nothing had happened just now, and these forces couldn't cause any harm to him. Impossible. How can there be such a degree of recovery? Is this the legendary immortal body that only saints can have? Is this the immortal body that can be reborn? A pirate elder couldn't help but scream in disbelief. He had never seen such a human. His armor was like a beehive, but he could still recover in a breath's time. If this wasn't a monster, then what was? If he had such an immortal body, how could they defeat him? Even if they used Star Destroyer, they wouldn't be able to kill this monster because he had an immortal body. I knew this guy wasn't an ordinary person. He's an immortal saint, definitely an immortal saint. Otherwise, it's impossible for him to have such strength and armor. Damn, why did a saint come to our pirate star field? Why is he doing this? It's over. It's completely over. What kind of monster are we dealing with? Quickly ask the old ancestors to come out. Only they can deal with the immortal saint. No, the old ancestors have something important to do now, so they can't leave for the time being. Bastard. Why did he come when the old ancestors aren't here? Did he come at the right time to find trouble with our 40 pirate alliance? Run, quickly run. This is an immortal saint. How can we defeat him? Many of the pirate elders were in despair. After knowing that the opponent might be an immortal saint, they no longer had the desire to fight. How could they fight against an existence that even the system couldn't kill? To be honest, even if the monster in front of them stood still and let them kill him, they wouldn't be able to kill him. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. As soon as the voice fell, the group of pirate elders immediately fled, running faster than anyone else. 7 Fiend Dragon Roar. How could Xiaoping let these pirates escape? He stood in place and operated the Qigong in his armor, mobilizing the power of the ancient celestial dragon. He gathered the baleful energy of heaven and earth and let out a dragon roar. Roar! In the blink of an eye, with his body as the center, a terrible sound wave visible to the naked eye was produced, condensed into a substance, like a sea tide, spreading in all directions, affecting every pirate elder. Bang! Bang! These pirate elders hadn't run out of the distance when their bodies swelled up like balloons, and in an instant, they exploded into a ball of Japanese sauce. Each and every one of them let out a mournful scream that spread for miles. All the pirate elders died on the spot. Not a single one was left alive. Chapter 2119. No sage showed up. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. It was rumored that the 40 Bandit Alliance had the support of a saint, which was why they were so unbridled and tyrannical. No other forces dared to provoke them. However, after causing such a huge commotion on the pirate planet, there were still no signs of a sage appearing. He could not even sense the aura of any saint nearby. Could it be that it was just a lie to say that the 40 Bandits Alliance had the backing of a saint? No, that's not right. Xiaoping did not believe such a thing. It was impossible for the 40 Bandit Alliance to be able to run amok for such a long time without the support of a sage. Perhaps the other party was delayed by something and did not appear. Most importantly, the Mother Earth Stone did not appear on the pirate planet. According to the Compass of Wishes, it should be hidden in the dimensional space of a distant planet, hidden in the depths of the void. Perhaps the sage behind the 40 Bandits Alliance was hiding in that place, still refining the Mother Earth Stone. Interesting. I like to see the background of the so-called sage behind the 40 Pirate Alliance. Xiaoping's figure flashed, ignoring the small corners on the pirate planet. He shuttled through space and quickly arrived at the place where the Mother Earth Stone was. S3. At this moment, 1P star territory, a dimensional space hidden in the depths of the void. This space seems to be independent of this world, hidden in the depths of the dimensional space. Without enough means, it can't be found at all. It was like a small plain world. However, the area was not very large. It was only about 10 million square kilometers. There was a huge altar built in the middle of this plain world, and it was surrounded by dense, restrictive arrays. A unique, or had appeared in the depths of the core, and it was obviously the Mother Earth Stone. This stone was only the size of a fist, and it gave off dense energy. It was like the core of the world, and it was the energy source for the entire restrictive formation. It seemed to be filled with the aura of primal chaos. 5 figures appeared in the vicinity of the altar. They exuded an aura that could distort space itself, indicating that they had all reached the sempiternal realm. It seems that there's a problem on the pirate planet. An enemy came in and killed a lot of pirates. A black-robed, undying saint spoke. His voice buzzed, causing the entire plane to tremble. Even if he stayed in this plain world and didn't go out, he still received a lot of distress messages through the communicator. Countless pirate elders hoped that they would take action to eradicate the enemy and save the pirate planet. Therefore, he didn't go out and naturally knew what was happening on the pirate planet. Don't worry about it. We spent countless years on this sacrificial altar and finally found the Mother Earth Stone. This is a crucial thing. As for how many pirates die, it doesn't matter. They're just ants. Another undying saint sneered coldly and emotionlessly. To them, the so-called 40 Thieves Alliance was merely an organization that they had casually created to gather resources. To put it simply, it was a chess piece. If the chess piece was useless, it didn't matter if it was thrown away. There was no feeling of regret at all. Moreover, at such an important moment, They naturally wouldn't abandon what was important and run off to save those ants. This was simply putting the cart before the horse. You're right. This sacrificial altar has finally been built. Soon, we will be able to communicate with the abyss world and summon many undying demons. At that time, we will be able to increase our manpower. Slowly, we will devour this universe and completely corrupt it, turning it into a part of the abyss. Another undying saint laughed cruelly. His body emitted a dense demonic aura. It was so dark that it couldn't be dispelled. It was simply a sin from the deepest part of the abyss. If there were any pirates here, they would definitely be scared to death. They thought that the big shots behind them, the saints supporting this pirate alliance, were not humans, but undying demons from the abyss world. They came out from the abyss world and had always been hiding in the human world. They had never acted blindly without thinking. This was all to carry out a world-shaking plan that could topple the universe. Soon, as long as we sacrifice this Mother Earth stone, we will be able to open a temporary passage to the abyss world. At that time, we will be able to summon an uncountable demonic army. Kiki, that's great. For this day, I don't know how long I have waited, how much humiliation I have endured. But for the abyss, it's all worth it. The war of the immemorial era. This time, we will wipe away our humiliation. We will let these humans and the other races know that the strongest beings in this universe are the abyss demons. We are the true rulers. That's right. Those lowly beings can only be our slaves. They actually dared to seal us in the abyss world. This is an indelible humiliation. We must take revenge. War. Only a war that engulfs the entire universe can let those damned humans know the terror of us abyss demons. Let the beings of this universe tremble when they hear the name of us demons. The undying demons clenched their fists tightly. Their eyes were filled with hatred. S3. The reason why they could hide for so long and have such patience was because of the humiliation and hatred that had been accumulated since the immemorial era. If it wasn't for that tragic defeat in the primordial era, they wouldn't have to be so careful and cautious. After all, a single failure like this was more than enough. It was beyond redemption. Because of this, they carefully hid in the human world, even pretending to be human saints. They secretly supported pirate organizations and slowly infiltrated the human world, gathering information about the major races of this universe. The defeat in the immemorial era was because they did not understand the major races of this universe. That's why they suffered such heavy losses. But it's different now. In order to prepare for a super war that could affect the entire universe, they became spies and gathered information. It's all for this one battle. Let's begin. Don't waste the world anymore. Immediately activate the sacrifice formation and communicate with the abyss world. Gather all the demons' power and open a passage to let countless demons descend into this world. A undying, demonic devil with a pair of bull horns on his body roared, his killing intent soaring. The other four immortal fiendish demons also looked at each other, then immediately circulated the fiendish energy within their bodies. They formed hand seals, concealing the fiendish language. Numerous fiendish runes appeared, forming an abyssal sacrificial script. Rumble. Chapter 21:20. Great Abyss, we offer the most precious treasure to you. Please open up a path for us. Let the glory of Abyss shine into this world. N-I? D? C? Percent. La. The 5 immortal ranked demons shouted at the same time. They spoke in the demon language. It seemed to be an extremely ancient language of the universe. The void trembled, attracting the attention of Abyss. Buzz, buzz, in the depths of the altar, one formation after another radiated with boundless light, imprinting the void and connecting with the other dimensions. Boundless energy seeped in, transmitting the sacrificial words of the 5 immortal demonic beasts to the will of the Abyss. It's coming soon. I can feel the consciousness of Abyss. It's watching this place. Haha, we've waited for too long. We're finally going to succeed today. Come, open up the path to Abyss. Let countless Abyss demons descend into this world. I want all the humans in the universe to feel endless pain. The undying demons all became excited, their bodies trembling. They felt a great power transmitted from the depths of the altar, as if there was an eye of the abyss staring at them. Great, merciless, evil, noble, chaotic, dark, impossible to contend against. Their souls were trembling. They wanted nothing more than to kneel before such a great power. Dong. S3. At this moment, a cave appeared in the void far away. The world barrier of this small world was opened up. A figure immediately appeared in the sky. "Who's there?" An immortal ranked demon shouted, furious. At this crucial moment, communicating with Abyss and activating the sacrificial formation, they could not afford to be careless, or all their efforts would be wasted. However, there was actually an enemy that intruded into their small world, accidentally disturbing the altar. If such an accident caused the sacrificial ceremony to stop, their billions of years of patience would be destroyed. And the person who appeared here was none other than Xiaoping. Is this the place where the Mother Earth rock is? After entering this small world, Xiaoping looked down from above. He immediately saw a huge altar in this world. A piece of Mother Earth rock was placed at the center of the altar, emitting dense world energy and earth energy. The H-gold slime on his wrist immediately transmitted an extremely excited emotion. Clearly, it had also sensed the power of the Mother Earth stone, which would be of great benefit to its growth. Even the H-gold slime felt a little impatient. There are even abyss demons. Could it be that the sage of the 40 Bandits Alliance is this immortal demon? Xiaoping narrowed his eyes and sensed the presence of 5 immortal demons in this small world. He immediately knew that the people behind the 40 Pirate Alliance were not simple. 5 immortal demons actually controlled a super pirate organization and even set up an altar here. No matter how he thought about it, this matter was unusual. What's going on? A human actually broke in. We have long since set up many restrictive magic arrays in this plane. How did this kid get in? Moreover, we didn't even notice it in the beginning. Yeah, that doesn't make sense at all. This plane world is located in the depths of the dimension. Even an immortal rank saint wouldn't be able to discover it. Only a near ancient saint rank existence would be able to detect it. But this human is at most lightning calamity peak. He can't be a near ancient saint, not even an immortal saint. No matter where he came from, since he discovered our secret, he has to die. He can only blame his bad luck. The 5 immortal demons' eyes were filled with killing intent. This altar was a secret they had prepared for billions of years. They could not afford to lose it. They definitely could not let it leak out. Otherwise, it would definitely attract the attacks of the human saints. At that time, their billions of years of planning would be ruined. Their many years of patience and effort would be wasted. This definitely could not happen. Kill him, one of the immortal demons shouted. He did not waste any time and immediately attacked. His body emitted a terrifying golden gong chi. However, this chi was not golden but black. It was the metal demonic chi from the abyss. With a clanging sound, it pulled out a black demonic sword from its body. The blade was filled with saw teeth. This demonic sword was refined from an abyssal demonic creature. It possessed an invincible might and was extremely sharp. It even contained a strong corrosive power. If any living being was hit by this sword, not only would they be cut in half, they would also be corroded by the abyss power and become an abyss demon. Abyss god art, hateful heaven sword. It slashed its sword towards Xiaoping, and a black sword chi seemed to split the sky into two, tearing the void apart. The entire world was dyed black in the abyss world. S3. At the same time, this sword energy emitted an extremely hateful intent. This was hating the heavens, hating the earth, hating demons, hating humans, hating the heavens. Hateful, hateful, hateful. This sword contained this immortal demon's extreme resentment intent. It was as if billions of years of resentment and countless demons' resentment were gathered on this sword. Even if this sword didn't reach the enemy, this intense hatred was enough to crush the enemy's soul and make them fall into endless hatred. Dark North Protector. Feeling the horror of this sword, Xiaoping immediately operated the Dark North protection skill, and a sea immediately gushed out of his body, as if there were countless Kuan Peng surrounding his body, forming a sea barrier, encompassing everything, all-inclusive. Countless Kuan Peng runes vibrated, forming layers of space barriers. There were no gaps at all. Dong! This sword slashed on the ocean and was immediately absorbed by the Kuan Peng runes. All the demonic sword energy, all the hatred was swallowed clean. No matter how intense the hatred was, it was useless in the boundless ocean. The vast space could contain everything. All negative emotions could be digested and turned into nothingness. Impossible. That immortal demon's eyes opened wide in disbelief. In order to kill this uninvited guest, this damned human, it didn't hold back at all. As soon as he attacked, he went all out, using his most powerful sword strike. The hatred that had been brewing for millions and millions of years erupted, shaking the heavens and the earth, shaking the universe, and encompassing everything. Even an immortal sage wouldn't be able to block this sword, even if they had an immortal body. But if it was corroded by its intense hatred, even its soul would fall into endless hatred, unable to extricate itself. Even if it was corroded by the abyssal energy, its immortal body would slowly turn into an abyssal creature. But now, this puny human in front of it, an ant that hadn't even reached the immortal realm, blocked it. It couldn't accept this fact. Chapter 21:21. Not bad. I didn't expect an abyss demon to be able to use sacred art power to such a degree. You're probably an old monster that has lived for countless years, stronger than even ordinary immortal ranked demons. Xiaoping was amazed. He had met many immortal sages, but this immortal, fiendish demon in front of him was ranked in the top. It was stronger than the killing cursed demon sage, rock overlord, and other immortal fiendish demons. However, these words of praise infuriated the immortal demon. His face turned the color of a pig's liver. He felt greatly humiliated and humiliated. It shouted, "Strong my ass. A mere mortal dares to comment on immortal rank saints? Who do you think you are? How dare you speak so shamelessly here?" The demon was furious. Who was it? It was an immortal rank demon from deep abyss. It was naturally strong and had lived for billions of years. It had experienced countless battles. What was this human? He was not even immortal rank, just a mortal. Yet now he was commenting here with a condescending attitude, like a senior. He said it was stronger than ordinary immortal rank demons. What kind of attitude was that? These words were clearly saying that it was not this human's match. Its full power attack was useless against him. As an immortal rank demon, its full power attack could not even kill a mortal. If this spread, it would become the laughing stock of the entire abyss world. One could well imagine how furious it was right now. Even if it had endured for millions of years, it still wouldn't be as sullen and furious as it was right now. It felt like it had been humiliated by a mortal, completely slapped in the face and trampled on. You're angry? Actually, there's no need. I have killed more than one immortal rank demon. You are just a slightly stronger one. After all, the universe is huge. Xiaoping felt that there was no need to be angry. Immortal rank demons were not the strongest in the universe. Shut up, Ant Mortal. It's not your turn to interrupt. Die immediately. The other green, undying demonic demon roared. Although it wasn't the one who failed, seeing its comrade being humiliated, it was still infuriating. It felt that if they did not get rid of this human, everything they had worked for billions of years would be for nothing. They would not allow such a ridiculous thing to happen. Mortal, you dare to offend a demon from the abyss. Today, I'll make you wish you were dead. Mystic ability, Demon Tree Forest. In the blink of an eye, the demon formed a seal with both hands. Everything within tens of thousands of kilometers trembled as black vines burst out of the ground, forming a dense forest. Millions or even tens of millions of black vines attacked like pythons. Dense demonic runes appeared on the surface of each vine. Ordinary power would not be able to harm these demonic vines that came from the abyss, and they also had the ability to be impervious to fire and water. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. These black vines seemed to have a life of their own as they pounced towards Xia Ping in all directions. With a rustling sound, they formed a huge cage that sealed off every corner and space that Xia Ping could escape to. Divine ability, black water floods the sky. A fish-headed immortal fiend also made a move. It grabbed with its hand, seemingly communicating with a dimensional space and activating the water dimension of the abyssal world. Crash! Instantly, a huge amount of water surged out from its body, forming a black river that pierced through the void. This was the Blackwater Mother River that came from the abyssal world. It contained powerful abyssal energy and emitted an unparalleled stench, as if it was soaked in the evilest substance in the universe. The stench was simply unbearable. Even if one sealed their five senses, they would not be able to stop the stench from invading their bodies. Moreover, it also contained the power of drowning. Once soaked in this river, ordinary life forms would immediately drown. Every pore on their body would be unable to breathe. Even if they did not drown, the water would invade their bodies and enter their lungs, corroding them into abyssal creatures. This was simply an abyssal river. Even an undying saint might not be able to resist it. Sun Furnace. A cold light flashed in Xiaoping's eyes. Boundless flame energy gushed forth from his body, as well as countless infernal golden crow runes. With his body as the center, they rapidly condensed into a gigantic sun furnace that was tens of thousands of meters tall. Numerous infernal golden crow runes appeared on the surface of the furnace. Every rune seemed to be a miniature infernal golden crow that swam around and flapped their wings. From time to time, balls of dark golden flames would appear and rumble about. Hong long long, in an instant, thousands of black vines surged over, getting close to the sun furnace. These vines should be impervious to fire and water, but the moment they came into contact with the flames of the infernal golden crow, they actually started to burn. That green, undying demon immediately let out a shrill cry, because the flames had already incinerated the thousands of vines. It even lit up the entire forest as it continued to spread. One must know that each vine was an organ of its body, like its limbs. Now that it was being incinerated by the flames of hell, this was unbearable. Its soul felt like it was being tortured by the flames of hell as its entire body started to burn. Everything within tens of thousands of kilometers was turned into a sea of flames. Damn, why is this happening? That fish-headed, undying demon's pupils constricted because it realized that the water from the Blackwater Mother River was actually unable to extinguish the flames. Instead, the entire river seemed to have been evaporated by the flames, turning into water vapor. All the abyssal energy was completely incinerated, as though it was being purified. Its ability was useless against this human. At this moment, its expression was extremely ugly, as though a giant toad had been stuffed into its mouth. Die, damned human. At this moment, another snake-headed, undying demon attacked. It saw the opportunity and attacked from Xiaoping's back. Its body emitted terrifying black flames that seemed to be burning holes in the void. Such a flame ability was like the dark sun of the abyss, releasing boundless dark light. Abyss ability, burning snake devil devouring. In an instant, its entire body turned into a burning snake. Every inch of the flames contained abyssal devil flames, emitting terrifying destructive power. Even the space around it was sizzling from the heat. Each black flame contained profound and mysterious abyssal runes, twisting and distorting, as though sin was gathering, corroding the beauty and light of this world. A giant snake that was tens of thousands of feet long opened its blood-red mouth and flicked its bright red forked tongue, emitting a foul stench. It pounced towards Xiaoping, intending to swallow him in one gulp. Chapter 21-22. Scram. Xiaoping did not even look at it. He threw a punch, and the 2 billion golden crow hell cells in his body vibrated, condensing into 1 gigabyte of power. This punch broke through the vacuum, shook the surroundings, and ruthlessly smashed into the giant snake. Dong! The snake-headed, undying demon was sent flying. Its body suffered from the unparalleled power, and the powerful punch penetrated its body, causing it to swell up like a balloon. With a bang, its body exploded into pieces on the spot. Even the flames were extinguished by the punch. Unfortunately, it had an undying body. In a breath's time, the blood squirmed and returned to its original state. Even so, it had suffered a great deal of damage. Human explode. In that moment, a bronze-skinned, undying demon devil appeared behind him, wielding a huge bronze hammer. It was extremely dangerous as it silently closed in on Xiaoping. With a bang, it smashed down on Xiaoping's head as if it could shatter a planet. Starry YY book. Xiaoping formed a seal with both of his hands. From the depths of his body's orifice X, every orifice emitted a ray of azure starlight. The starlight gathered together and formed a huge book. This book of stars contained the starry sky of the universe and was all-encompassing. It completely enveloped his body, and rays of starlight weaved together to form a star array. Boom! The hammer smashed onto the star book, but it was immediately blocked by the starlight. At the same time, a clanging sound rang out, and sparks flew. At the same time, a powerful rebound force was transmitted along the bronze hammer, striking the body of the bronze-colored undying demon. The bronze-colored undying demon let out a blood-curdling scream. Its hand went numb, and its entire body was sent flying. It skidded across the ground for thousands of kilometers, leaving a huge crack on its body. Even the bronze hammer in its hand was sent flying, smashing into the ground and creating a crater with a diameter of several kilometers. Damn it! The faces of the 5 immortal fiendish beasts turned extremely ugly. They never expected that they would fail to kill a human who wasn't even in the sempiternal realm, even after joining hands. In fact, it was not as simple as not being able to kill them. They were still in the stage of being beaten up and at a disadvantage. If news of this got out, it would definitely shake the entire Abyss world. When did such a terrifying human expert appear in the human world? It was simply unimaginable. Is this all you've got? Xiaoping clasped his hands behind his back and said, "It's a 5 versus 1, and it's even a sempiternal realm demonic beast at that. Yet, even I am unable to defeat them. It's no wonder the demonic beasts of the primordial era would lose so badly and be chased back to the abyssal realm like stray dogs. There's a reason why they are so weak." Hearing this, the 5 undying fiendish demons widened their eyes in anger. Xiaoping's words were like rubbing salt on their wounds. "Wait, alter our Mother Earth stone. You bastard, what did you do just now?" Suddenly, the cyan immortal fiendish demon shouted. It immediately noticed a huge change on the altar. The Mother Earth stone that was supposed to be engraved at the center of the altar as an offering to communicate with the will of the abyss was now occupied by a jelly basketball-sized golden say life form. This golden say creature had an excited look on its face. Like a little thief, it was munching on the Mother Earth stone, completely treating it as a delicacy. It was eating happily, and this life form was undoubtedly the H-Gold slime. While Xiaoping was fighting the 5 immortal fiendish demons, he communicated with the H-Gold slime with his will, allowing it to silently approach the altar and devour the Mother Earth stone. The plan was very successful. The H-Gold slime approached the center of the altar without anyone noticing, approaching the Mother Earth stone without the other 5 immortal fiendish demons noticing. The 5 immortal fiendish demons couldn't be blamed. The battle was too intense. They had to be fully focused or they would die for sure. How could they notice a little thing approaching the altar under such circumstances? "Little thief, stop immediately. That's our abyssal altar's sacrificial offering. Just try touching it if you dare." Seeing this scene, the 5 immortal fiendish demons were infuriated, their lungs nearly exploding. In order to make this altar a success, they paid a huge price and effort to finally find such a rare treasure like the Mother Earth stone. Without the Mother Earth stone as an offering, the will of Abyss wouldn't pay attention to this place and even open a void passage for countless immortal fiendish demons to descend. If this Mother Earth stone was eaten by this little thief, their years of effort would all go to waste. They couldn't accept such a thing. Just when I wanted to stop it, Xiaoping's figure flashed and stopped them. He said lazily, "Don't be so impulsive. No need to be angry. How about we chat for a bit?" "I don't have time to chat with you. Scram now, or I'll kill you." The 5 immortal fiendish demons stomped their feet in anger. They wanted to kill Xiaoping on the spot. If they were any slower, the Mother Earth Stone would have been eaten by that little monster. "Oh, you used those sacred arts just now. You didn't want to kill me? I want to see what other tricks you can use." Xiaoping was calm. Above his head was a book of stars. Starlight bloomed around him. Countless stars revolved around him as if he was standing in the void. The starlight spread out in all directions, turning the surrounding 10 million kilometers into a star domain cage. No matter where the 5 undying demon kings wanted to go, they would be stopped. The 5 immortal fiendish demons were anxious. But they also knew that if it was so easy to kill this human, they would have killed him long ago. As long as this human stopped them, it would be hard for them to advance. "It's over, it's all over." At this moment, a snake-headed immortal demon fainted, his face ashen, because while he was speaking, the Mother Earth Stone on the altar had already been completely swallowed by that hateful monster. Boom! The altar had already communicated with the will of Abyss. And I shot out from the Abyss as if it wanted to open a void passage and transfer the power of Abyss over. But now the Mother Earth Stone was gone. There was no longer enough treasure to trigger the will of Abyss. Chapter 21-23. Little bastard. Seeing this, the 5 undying fiendish demons couldn't help but roar. Their hearts were bleeding as if someone was cutting their bodies. Look, see, exempt. They had painstakingly prepared for countless years, lying in ambush in the human world, enduring for an unknown amount of time, suffering untold hardships, all for the sake of this day. But now, it had been destroyed by this damn monster. Their years of hard work had been destroyed in a single day. One could imagine how furious they were right now. They even had the intention to kill the entire H-Gold Slime clan. However, the H-Gold Slime burped with a satisfied look on its face. It rubbed its round belly with its little hand, obviously very satisfied with the food it had eaten. Of course, because the Mother Earth Stone was extremely rare and precious, and it was a cosmos-level treasure, it wasn't so easy to completely digest it, and it required a certain amount of time. Therefore, it only temporarily swallowed the Mother Earth Stone and placed it in its stomach to digest slowly. Come back. Seeing that the H-Gold Slime had eaten the Mother Earth Stone, Xiaoping was very satisfied. He waved his hand and had the H-Gold Slime return. Trying to escape? You're dreaming. Damn monster, spit out the Mother Earth Stone immediately. The 5 immortal rank demons were furious. They immediately wanted to attack and smash the H-Gold Slime into pieces. S3, but how could Xiaoping allow them to attack the H-Gold Slime? Held treasure, Morning Bee. In an instant, he pulled out the Morning Bee and slammed it into the air. The first form of the 5 styles of soul suppression, stun. Waves of condensed mental energy ripples came from the Morning Bee. Millions, or even tens of millions of vibrations instantly struck the 5 undying demon beasts. Immediately, the 5 immortal demons were stunned as if they had been hit by a stick. Their bodies were in a state of dizziness, and they couldn't move at all. Taking advantage of this gap, the H-Gold Slime leapt and turned into a golden ray of light, instantly returning to Xiaoping's side. Xiaoping then threw it into the mountain and river pearl space. After all, now that the H-Gold Slime had swallowed the Mother Earth Stone, it needed a certain amount of time to digest this extremely rare cosmic grade or and evolve itself. At this moment, the 5 undying demons finally recovered from their dizziness. Seeing that the H-Gold Slime had already disappeared, they became even angrier and vented all their anger on Xiaoping. Humans, damn humans. Hundreds of millions of years of planning, hundreds of millions of years. Do you know how we spent these years? In order to not expose our identity as people from the Abyss, we endured everything and didn't take the initiative to kill the humans. This was all for the sake of the Abyss plan. But now it's all ruined. You've ruined everything. Human, do you know how great a crime this represents? Do you know what kind of grave mistake you have committed? Damned human, we'll let you know today that you've made a grave mistake. We'll let you know what the rage of the abyss is. You can't just do whatever you want. Kill him immediately. It'll be hard to quell my anger if I don't tear him into pieces. The 5 immortal demons were extremely angry. If their anger can condense into a substance, they're afraid that the entire one-piece starfield will be burned by their anger, and this place will be burned to the ground. Hundreds of millions of years of planning, hundreds of millions of years of forbearance. No one could imagine the grievance and anger in their hearts. If they succeeded, it would be worth it. But now they failed. At the last moment, their plan was destroyed by this kid. One could imagine how angry they were deep in their hearts. They simply wanted to exterminate Xia Ping's entire family. Puff! As soon as the voice fell, the 5 undying demons spat out a large amount of blood ys. These blood ys were not red, but black. It seemed to be the darkness from the abyss, filled with evil, sin, darkness, emptiness, madness, chaos, destruction, and so on. In an instant, they burned all their blood and soul, increasing the power of their tanks by several times. A gigabyte of destructive energy burst out from their tanks. Without a doubt, Xia Ping's actions had completely angered them. They began to fight desperately. Even if they burned their own origin energy and damaged their soul, they had to kill this damned human. Buzz, 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 buzz. The 5 undying demons formed seals with their hands and chanted a long incantation from their mouths. These were incantations and words from the abyss world, exuding an ancient, desolate, eternal, and evil aura. It seemed to come from the abyss, communicating with the abyss origin. A gigabyte of grand, evil, vast, and chaotic energy was instilled into their bodies. S3. This G-power actually triggered the abyss will. Lines of abyss incantations and abyss runes suddenly condensed into black chains. The chains were engraved with dense abyss runes. They were mysterious and unfathomable, crawling on the chains like ants. Walala, from the depths of a void, thousands upon thousands of black chains appeared in all directions. Like venomous snakes, they instantly surrounded Xia Ping. Supreme secret technique, Abyss Seal. This was a supreme secret technique from the Abyss world. The 5 undying demons used their blood as sacrifices to trigger the power of the Abyss will, condensing the Abyss chains. Once an enemy was hit by the Abyss Seal, no matter how strong they were, their power would immediately be sealed, and they would be dragged away by the Abyss chains into the depths of the Abyss world. In the primordial era, many demons from the Abyss used this secret technique when they fought with humans. Countless sages fell for this move and were pulled into the Abyss world, never to return. They died without a complete corpse and became a part of the Abyss. Die, human. It's your honor to become a part of the Abyss world. The 5 undying demons cackled. Their pupils were unfathomable and slowly rotated like black holes, devouring all living beings. They seemed to have become the puppets of the Abyss using the supreme power of the Abyss to kill all living beings. You actually want to seal me? You've got guts, but that's all you've got. You're still struggling. Today, I'll tell you that no matter what you do, you can't escape death. Xia Ping could feel the supreme abyss from the abyss chains. It was unfathomable and extremely evil. It was a huge threat to him. If he was really hit by this secret technique, he would probably be doomed eternally. So he didn't want to continue playing. With a whoosh, he took out the reincarnation brush. Chapter 21-24. Dying. Xia Ping held the reincarnation brush and pointed at the air. Dong. Suddenly, it caused the void to collapse. It was as if the P-space had been destroyed, forming a huge black hole that produced an extremely terrifying, devouring force. The wind howled. Every single strand of hair on the reincarnation brush emitted a terrifying power of sharpness, forming an indestructible brush tip. The surrounding space was torn apart, creating terrifying spatial cracks. It was as if a supreme saint was painting in the void. Bang, bang, bang. In the blink of an eye, The tens of thousands of black abyssal chains that were rushing toward him collapsed, broken inch by inch, torn apart by the sharpness of the brush tip. A series of explosions took place nearby. All the abyssal demon chi was swept away. Impossible. What kind of artifact is that? Even the abyssal chains were cut apart so easily. Damn it. This human is scarier than us abyssal demons. He's a real monster. We can't keep fighting, or we'll die for sure. The 5 immortal-level fiendish demons widened their eyes. The destruction of the abyssal chains also caused them to suffer a backlash from the abyssal intent. They couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. They couldn't believe their eyes. That was the abyssal seal. Every chain came from the abyssal intent. They were indestructible. Even a low-tier divine artifact couldn't break them. But this strange brush in front of them, with just a light touch, easily tore the abyss chain. The sharp power it emitted made them tremble in fear, as if there was a blade on their backs. Instantly, they had the urge to retreat, feeling that their life X was being threatened. Although they had failed their mission, they were heartbroken and furious. But no matter what, they couldn't lose their lives in this place. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. As soon as he said that, the 5 immortal fiendish demons formed hand seals and gathered a powerful force. They wanted to break this small world space and escape from this place. Trying to escape? All of you die. Xiaoping held the reincarnation brush coldly. There was no way he would let the 5 immortal-level fiendish demons escape. They were top-notch nutrients for the world tree. Moreover, the other party was a demon from the abyss. It was cunning and vengeful. Why was vicious and vicious? Once he escaped, there would be endless troubles in the future, leading to the destruction of the people. The reincarnation brush attacked again and slashed at the 5 immortal-level fiendish demons. Immediately, 5 trajectories appeared in the depths of the void. These were formed from 5 strands of hair. They were like spears that could kill gods, piercing through the void, tearing apart the universe, shaking the world. Bang, bang, bang. The 5 immortal demons immediately let out mournful cries, because their tanks were immediately pierced through by the dark gold sameo. It was as if they were nailed in the air by spears, and black blood flowed out from their wounds. They also shrieked in pain. Unimaginable pain spread throughout their bodies. They lost most of their combat power. A terrifying and mysterious reincarnation force seeped into their T-souls, preventing them from using their demon power. Even their immortal bodies couldn't do anything. Stop, human. Do you know who we are? How dare you kill us? Stop your violent behavior. We're the vanguard of the abyss demons. If you kill us, you'll be hunted by countless demons. That's right. If you know what's good for you, stop now. That way, there's still room for redemption. Otherwise, you'll be doomed. In the near future, we demons will reappear in this universe. When that time comes, you humans will be wiped out. Completely wiped out. Do you know that? How dare you disrespect us demons from the abyss? The 5 immortal-level fiendish demons were furious. They threatened Xiaoping. They were no longer arrogant and condescending. They were like stray dogs. A bunch of stray dogs dares to talk big here? So what if we reappear in the universe? If we could beat you in the primordial era, we can do it now. Stop flattering yourselves. Xiaoping said disdainfully. He waved his hand. Xiao, xiao, xiao. Deep in the void, many roots of the world tree appeared. They were green like spears and easily pierced through the bodies of the 5 immortal-level fiendish demons. At the same time, the densely packed roots covered every corner of their bodies like parasites. They seemed to have replaced the blood vessels in their bodies. Damn it, what did you do to us? How dare you blaspheme the demons? The 5 immortal-level fiendish demons were terrified. They felt that their bodies were no longer under their control. At the same time, the roots rooted in their bodies. Their energy was being absorbed and devoured. S3. They were like parasites, absorbing their immortal power. So, Xiaoping waved his hand. He didn't even want to explain. He immediately dragged the 5 immortal-level fiendish demons into the world tree. Now, he had 5 immortal-level fiendish demons as nourishment. He believed that he would be able to produce even more immortal fruits every month. In fact, if the Abyss demons really attack the universe, they might be able to capture even more Abyss demons. All right, this small world belongs to me now. Xiaoping scanned with his divine sense and instantly understood everything about the small world. This place could be considered the nest of the 5 immortal-level fiendish demons. It had been accumulated for billions of years. The resources they had plundered from the 40 Great Bandit Alliance were all stored here. Most of the precious materials were used to build the Abyss altar. Each set of materials, if sold in the universe, could buy a commercial planet. One could imagine how rich the 5 immortal-level fiendish demons were. Little gold, these are your food. Eat them all. Xiaoping waved his hand and called out H Gold Slime. He felt that if H Gold Slime wanted to evolve, just eating the Mother Earth Stone was not enough. It was better to eat all the materials in this altar to increase its foundation. Slime. H Gold Slime was very excited. It had wanted to eat for a long time, but with the 5 immortal-level fiendish demons in the way, it couldn't do anything. But now it was different. No one could stop it. It began to chomp down on the food. Right, I have to plunder all the treasures on the Pirate Alliance. Xiaoping rubbed his chin. He thought of the countless treasures accumulated on other pirate planets. He had killed countless pirate elders before. These were all ownerless treasures. Naturally, they belonged to him. Chapter 21-25. Pirate Planet, 40 Pirate Alliance, one of the pirate treasure houses. Boom! Xiaoping came to this place and smashed the door of the treasure house with a punch. At the same time, the surrounding protection system was completely destroyed, and the surrounding pirates were lying on the ground. These pirates tried to stop Xiaoping from entering the treasure house, but how could they resist? With just a breath, these pirates were shaken out and fell to the ground and fainted. However, there are still some powerful pirates who did not faint. They were shocked and angry, very sad and indignant. Stop, you shameless thief! These are the treasures that our Black Cat pirates have accumulated for many years. You can't just take them away like this. A pirate elder shouted. He saw Xiaoping working hard in the treasure house and felt that his heart was dripping blood, as if his flesh was being cut. The pain was simply indescribable. Xiaoping despised and said, "You are really thick-skinned. These treasures are all robbed by you, and you still have the nerve to talk about accumulation. Only you're allowed to rob others. Others are not allowed to rob you." Fart. Robbing is not an accumulation. We pirates go through fire and water every day. We work hard. We don't have a next meal. You think it is easy to rob something? Do you know how hard we work? A group of pirates gritted their teeth and wanted to rush up to stop Xiaoping. Go to the side. I'm getting rid of evil for the people, robbing the rich to help the poor. With a bang, Xiaoping waved his hand, and suddenly a strong wind blew all these pirates away. Suddenly, many pirates were seriously injured. They were half dead with anger, robbing the rich to help the poor. This is clearly robbing their treasures to help this bastard, this poor man. Little thief, you dare to attack our Black Cat pirates. You will not have a good end. A pirate elder said with grief and indignation. Do you know who is behind our 40 Pirate Alliance? It is a saint. Do you know that there are 5 saints behind us? If the old ancestor knows what you are doing today, even if you escape to the ends of the earth, he will not let you go. You will become the public enemy of all the pirates in the universe. He shouted hoarsely. The old ancestor of your 40 Pirate Alliance. 5 saints? Are you talking about these 5 people? Xiaoping grabbed out with his hand and pulled out 5 heads from the void. They were the human heads of the 5 immortal rank demons. They had immortal bodies anyway. Even if one of their heads was cut off, they would quickly regenerate and not die. What? When the pirates saw this scene, their pupils shrank and they were scared half to death. They immediately recognized that it was indeed the heads of the 40 Pirate Alliance's 5 saints. They had seen the elder ancestor several times. Even if he turned into ashes, they would still recognize him. In fact, the 5 heads even emanated the aura of a saint, containing boundless killing intent. It was as if they were beams of peerless sword chi that pierced through the void, terrifying beyond compare. If they were to get within 10 meters of the head, they would immediately be killed by the aura of the saint, and not even their bones would be left. Impossible. How could the patriarch's head be in your hands? What's going on? Many pirate elders collapsed and were at a loss. You're still asking what's going on? Of course. We'll kill them all, Xia Ping said matter-of-factly. Didn't you guys rely on the support of the sages to be so unscrupulous? Now, I'll kill all the elder ancestors behind you. Let's see who else can support you. Fake, it's all fake. The elder ancestors are immortal sages. They have lived for God, knows how many years. Furthermore, there are 5 of them. How can you kill them alone? It must be an illusion. It must be a fraud. That's right. You think you can scare us with a fake? You must be dreaming. How can the elder ancestors die so easily? It's impossible. I advise you to tell us the truth immediately. Otherwise, if the elder ancestors know that you're slandering their reputation, you'll wish you were dead. Many pirates went crazy. Compared to their treasury being robbed, the death of the elder ancestors was the biggest blow to them, because if the treasures were gone, they could still snatch them back in the future. However, if the elder ancestors were dead, it meant that their backing had all fallen. This was a disaster. One must know that the 40 Pirate Alliance ran amok in the universe and offended countless forces. However, no one dared to take revenge because they had the support of the 5 sages. If the forces offended by the 40 Pirate Alliance knew that their elder ancestors were killed and their backing collapsed, then the entire Pirate Alliance would be completely finished. They would be hated by everyone and be chased by countless forces. Is that so? Then come and verify it yourself. Xia Ping didn't explain anything. He just threw the 5 heads in his hand and hung them on a wall. He continued to search for treasures in the treasury. Some pirates saw this and wanted to go forward to check. However, just as they got close, the 5 heads immediately burst out with terrifying killing intent. It pierced through the void and covered a radius of tens of kilometers. Bang, bang, bang. Those pirates who got close immediately let out mournful screams. Their bodies were immediately pierced by the killing intent and turned into a beehive. They were dripping with blood and died on the spot. Don't get close. It's real. It's real. These 5 heads are really the heads of the sages. They contain the immortal killing intent. A pirate elder screamed. He just wanted to check it out. However, he didn't expect to be pierced by a chi when he got close. His head was almost blown away. He was so scared that he almost peed his pants. Without a doubt, these 5 heads were left behind by the sages. It's over. It's over. The ancestors are all dead. They are all dead. No wonder such a big thing happened. The ancestors didn't show up. They are all dead. What should we do? If the 40 Pirates Alliance doesn't have the support of the ancestors, our pirate alliance will be finished. Many pirates looked at each other and didn't know what to do. The death of the 5 ancestors was like turning the world upside down. Even if they exhausted their imagination, they couldn't think that such a thing would happen. Who are you? Why do you want to deal with our 40 Pirates Alliance? How do we offend you? A pirate elder shouted and stared at Xia Ping. Even if he thought about it, he couldn't think of when and where his pirate alliance had offended such a terrifying person, which would lead to a disaster. When you robbed others, did others offend you? At this moment, Xia Ping had already looted the treasury and came out. Many pirates were speechless. They are pirates. Robbery is their innate skill. As long as others have money, they will rob them. It doesn't matter if others offend them or not. Could it be that this bastard was also like this? Seeing that the pirate alliance was rich, he came to rob them and killed all 5 of their ancestors? This is too arrogant. Does he think that their pirate alliance is a fat sheep? As for who I am, perhaps any of you have heard of my name. I am Wu Wudi, the Invincible One. Chapter 21-26. What? Hearing Wu Wudi's name, the pirates were shocked. They were shocked again and again, as if the name had struck their ears like thunder. Free cereal. You're the legendary universal wanted criminal, the one who's been hunted by countless Saint-class forces, the one who kills without batting an eyelid, the evil Wu Wudi. The group of pirates was scared half to death. They looked at Xia Ping in disbelief and took dozens of steps back in fright, as if they had encountered the plague. My God, no wonder he looks so familiar. He's the person on the wanted poster. He's the heinous, Evil Wu Woody? A pirate shouted and came to a sudden realization. No wonder he felt that the person in front of him was familiar. It was as if he had seen him somewhere before. I heard that Wu Woody is a madman, a real villain. Pirates like us only know how to bully the weak and fear why. So we can only rob merchant ships or take advantage of the weak defense of some countries to rob some barren planets. However, Wu Woody is different. He specializes in provoking Saint-class sects and forces. A pirate was very familiar with Wu Woody's deeds. The Arhut, Angel, Elven, Azura, and other extremely powerful races in the universe have all been ordered to kill him. The Wandu clan, the Shintian clan, the Great Sky clan, and other saint-level sects had all posted a huge bounty on his head. As long as he was killed, he would become rich overnight and obtain wealth that he could not earn in 10 lifetimes. Even if we add up the bounty of all the villains in the 40 Pirate Alliance, it would not be a fraction of his bounty. He's the most popular super wanted criminal in recent years. Many pirates who were not very familiar with Wu Woody were now scared to death. The 40 Pirate Alliance had countless pirates, including many who dominated the universe. Their bounty was frighteningly high. However, even when all of them were combined, their bounty was not as high as Wu Woody's. One could imagine how evil Wu Woody was. In the world of One Piece, the bounty represented status. The higher the bounty, the higher the status. S3. It could be said that a villain like Wu Woody was definitely a legendary pirate. That's nothing. It's said that he has killed many of the direct disciples of the Holy Land of Taichu, the Palace of Darkness, and even the direct descendants of the king clans of the Demon Clan. Even the sages have put a bounty on his head. A pirate gave another piece of information. He's crazy. He even dares to kill a disciple of the human race's holy land. The legs of the group of pirates began to tremble. To be honest, they were just pirates, the kind that liked to bully the weak and were afraid of why. Even a saint-tier sect would not dare to offend them easily, for fear of being reported and destroyed on the spot. However, this guy in front of him was so terrifying that he even dared to kill the disciples of the Holy Land of Taichu and the Palace of Darkness. His guts were boundless. After all, what was the sacred land of the human race? It was the place where many sages of the human race gathered. It was one of the strongest forces in the universe, and also the greatest backing for the human race to stand at the peak of the universe. How could such a force be offended? How could their disciples be killed by an ordinary person? Even their backers, the 5 immortal patriarchs, had repeatedly warned them not to offend the disciples of the Holy Land of Taichu and the Palace of Darkness. Otherwise, they would have no choice but to sacrifice the pawns to protect the king. However, even the disciples of such forces were slaughtered by this villain. One could imagine how ferocious Wu Woody was. It was definitely beyond everyone's imagination. When they heard about these deeds, they felt their legs tremble. This was simply a peerless demon that dominated the universe, and an unscrupulous one at that. The crimes that they had committed before were too small to be put on the table. They were like rookies. Not only is he ferocious, he's also very cunning. Previously, he committed crimes in the Eastern universe and cheated countless people. He even cheated a lot of kids out of their money. He even published a book called 36 Stratagems of Deception. I bought it back then and learned a lot from it. He's definitely a super liar. A pirate said that he had also bought a copy. It was of great benefit to his career as a pirate. He felt that his criminal skills had improved a lot. Before, he was just a baby and had not even gotten started. So it's Wu Woody. No wonder he attacked our pirate alliance for no reason. That's completely understandable. He's a madman. He can't do anything. He even dared to kill the disciples of the holy land of the human race. We're nothing. Brother, why didn't you tell us earlier that you're Wu Woody? If we had known, we definitely wouldn't have resisted. Take whatever you want. It's our honor. Many pirates were so scared that they crawled on the ground, not even daring to breathe loudly. They no longer had any thoughts of resisting. To fight against such a supervillain, even 10 of their lives would not be enough. Of course, some of them were a little suspicious at first, but when they saw the 5 bloody patriarchs' heads hanging on the wall and the immortal murderous intent everywhere, they had no more thoughts. S3, even their backers, the 5 immortal saints, were killed. What about them? Cook Minamata Pry fee this. Xiaoping's mouth twitched. He didn't know how many pirates he had killed just now, but he didn't see this group of pirates scared like this. Some of them even wanted to resist and bite back. One could imagine how vicious these pirates were. They weren't afraid of death. It was definitely not an undeserved reputation. But after hearing his name, they all retreated in fear. They crawled on the ground and told him to take whatever he wanted and treat it as their own home. Since when did his reputation become so notorious that even these old thieves were somewhat afraid of him? Why? I'm actually a good person. They wrong me. Do you believe me? Xiaoping blinked his eyes and looked at the group of pirates. Of course I believe you. To be honest, we were all wronged. We didn't do anything about robbing or killing people. It was all framed by those rich and powerful people. Many pirates said in unison. They were scared half to death. Who dare not believe it? They were really afraid that their lives would be too long. Xiaoping. Next, his robbing business in the 40 Pirate Alliance went very smoothly. Everywhere he went, there was no one who didn't greet him warmly and warmly. Even before he arrived, a large number of pirates had already taken out all the treasures and packed them up for Xiaoping to take away. It made him feel like he was at home. He almost didn't want to leave. Of course, Xiaoping still left because this place had been dug up by him. It was poorer than anywhere else. Chapter 21-27. The news of the 40 Bandit Alliance being attacked by Wu Wuti, killing 5 immortal sages, and robbing countless treasures quickly spread throughout the universe, reaching every street and alley. Damn, Wu Wuti has appeared again. He's done another earth-shattering crime, someone exclaimed. He had thought that Wu Wuti would be well-behaved after keeping a low profile for a while. He hadn't expected him to do such a thing again, shocking the universe. You must be joking. The 40 Pirate Alliance is a pirate alliance that has run amok for God knows how long. They are vicious and cruel, and they actually have inextricable connections throughout the universe. They have countless mighty figures, and they even have the support of the 5 saints. That Wu Wuti actually dared to provoke the 40 Pirates Alliance. He didn't just provoke them. He killed his way into the 40 Pirates Alliance's lair. Even the 5 sages were killed. Their heads are hanging on the wall. Oh my God, Wu Wuti is getting scarier. He can even kill sages now. How terrifying is he now? No one could do anything to him. Many people were dumbfounded when they heard the news. This was especially true for the various races of the Southern Universe. They were deeply poisoned by the 40 Pirate Alliance. It was unknown how many commercial spaceships had been robbed by these pirates. The crimes committed by the 40 Thieves Alliance were simply too numerous to list, but all along, no one had been able to do anything to them. After all, they had the support of a saint, and their backer was very powerful. Most importantly, they knew when to stop. They never offended the major factions and only bullied the commoners without any background. This made the 40 Pirates Alliance even more stable. But now, this pirate alliance that had run amok for God knows how many tens of thousands of years have been destroyed by Wu Wuti. It was unbelievable. They all thought they had heard a rumor. S3, however, as the news fermented and the news of the 40 Thieves Alliance disbanding and going their separate ways spread, everyone had no choice but to believe it. If not for the collapse of the 40 Pirates Alliance and the death of the 5 sages, how could this notorious pirate alliance suddenly disband? In various regions of the universe, countless major factions also received the news. Their faces were extremely solemn. Damn it, this Wu Wuti is getting stronger and stronger. He can even kill 5 undying saints. No one can stop him anymore, someone said with an ugly expression. He had wanted to take advantage of Wu Wuti's lack of time to get rid of him. However, before he could find Wu Wuti had killed a mortal saint. This matter greatly intimidated them, making them feel incomparably uncomfortable. They felt that this enmity could not be avenged. That's impossible. That brat was only at the lightning tribulation realm not too long ago. How could he have reached the sempiternal realm so quickly? Even flying a flying ship isn't that fast. Even if he is really advanced to the sempiternal realm, it'll still be incredibly difficult for him to kill an undying sage. He felt that what had happened was ridiculous. It might not be Wu Wudi's doing. Someone said solemnly, according to our intel, he has an undying Gaia protector tank by his side. Who knows? It might be Gaia himself who suppressed the 5 undying sages of the 40 Thieves Alliance. He voiced out his guess. It might not be Wu Wudi who did it. So that's how it is. That explains everything. If undying Gaia was the one who did it, along with some other methods, suppressing the 5 undying sages is not impossible. Many people nodded. They felt that this was a reasonable explanation. A cultivator who had not even reached the lightning tribulation realm could actually kill an undying sage in just a few years. The thought of such a thing happening made them feel like they had gone crazy. But even if it wasn't Wu Wudi, with undying Gaia by his side, he won't be so easy to kill. That's true. We can't treat Wu Wudi like we did before. He's grown into a true threat. Only an expert above the near ancient sage can kill him. We have to change our strategy. All our scouts can only gather intel. We can't act rashly and alert the enemy. Immediately, countless factions gave the order to change their previous strategy. They could only gather intel and not act rashly. After all, Wu Wudi was an existence that could suppress and kill even the 5 undying sages. If those scouts acted rashly, they would only be sending themselves to their deaths. They would not cause any harm to Wu Wudi. At this moment, in the star field where the 40 Pirates Alliance was, at this time, all the pirates that had stayed here had run away. 30,000 planets were empty, and the originally bustling area had become extremely gloomy. Because of the death of the 5 sages, the 40 Pirates Alliance's greatest backer had collapsed, causing the Pirate Alliance to perish. S3, if they dare to stay here, they would definitely be crushed to ashes by the countless factions they had offended before. If they were captured, they would definitely suffer a fate worse than death. Even if the factions they had offended did not act, the other factions that had been drooling over the 40 Pirates Alliance's treasures would definitely act to kick them while they were down. These pirates were all cunning characters. How could they not understand this logic? Therefore, after Xiaoping left, they also fled from this place, breaking up into smaller groups and drifting to various parts of the universe. In any case, with their strength, there would definitely be a place for them in the vast universe. As long as they changed their appearances, no one would be able to tolerate them. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this time, 3 uninvited guests appeared on the pirate planet. They broke through space and arrived on the wall where the 5 sages' heads were hanging. The 3 of them were human saints with unfathomable power. Originally, the pirates wanted to take this opportunity to take away the sages' heads. After all, they were sages' heads, so they must be priceless items. However, no one could get close. Those who dared were all killed by the sage's deathly aura. As time slowly passed, the deathly aura seemed to have connected to a dimensional space and absorbed the world's essence energy, forming a resonance and slowly expanding. Now, the area within several dozen kilometers had become a dead zone. Therefore, they could only give up on this thing that did not belong to them. As expected, it's the sages behind the 40 Pirates Alliance. The human sages stared at the 5 heads. No, these aren't sages, they're abyssal demons. Although their forms have changed, the abyssal power contained in their heads is definitely not fake. It's so dark that it's disgusting. Another human sage frowned. His tone was filled with killing intent. Clearly, he hated these abyssal demons and wanted nothing more than to get rid of them. Chapter 21-28. The information was right. The 5 immortal saints behind the 40 Thief Alliance are actually demons from the abyss. See? Percent. La. One of the H-clothed saints said in a deep voice. No wonder we've never heard of them before, and they've never cultivated in the holy land of Taichu or the Palace of Darkness. We thought they were born with sea roots, and they refused our offers again and again. It turns out that they're afraid of exposing their identities. Unfortunately, we learned of this too late. They had received some relevant information and tried to investigate. Unfortunately, They discovered that the saints behind the 40 Thieves Alliance had been killed before they could find out anything. That made them rush over to check out the situation. No, it's not too late. Look at the 5 heads. Blood-wise life force is strong, and there's also immortal substance. I'm afraid the 5 immortal demons are still alive, a blue-robed saint said. No, it's not too late. Not dead? Could it be that Wu Woody didn't kill them? What is that kid trying to do? Another black-robed saint narrowed his eyes with a murderous intent. I'm not sure. Anyway, the 5 immortal demons seem to have been suppressed by Wu Woody. Their souls can't even escape. I'm afraid they're in a worse state than dead. I can feel endless fear from the depths of their souls. The blue-robed saint formed a seal with both hands. A strange power penetrated through space-time and penetrated the 5 immortal heads. He seemed to have sensed something. With a thud, the 5 immortal heads seemed to be unable to withstand the power. They immediately shattered and turned into dust, unable to recover. S3, what? He made the abyssal demons feel fear and was even suppressed. Who is this Wu Woody? The H-robed saint was shocked. He knew how terrifying the immortal demons were. They were the kind that did not fear death. Not all of them were death warriors, but they would never feel fear from ordinary torture. After all, they were born in the abyss world. They had experienced all kinds of torture and were used to it. I'm not sure. Many people are investigating Wu Woody's origins. Unfortunately, there are no clues at the moment. There were even ancient sages who used time reversal, but they couldn't find anything about him. He's very mysterious. It seems like he's protected by an inexplicable force, said the blue-robed saint. Look, there's a small world here. It should be the lair of that undying demon. The black-robed saint seemed to have sensed something. He made a grabbing motion with his hand. With a thump, he instantly pierced through the void and opened a spatial door. He directly arrived at the small world where the abyssal altar was. The 3 sages' bodies flashed, and they immediately blocked the small world. When they saw the state of the small world, their faces changed. Damn it, this is the abyssal altar. It was built by communicating with the abyssal will. There seems to be offerings on it. Are they trying to connect the abyssal world and the universe to allow countless demons to descend? The blue-clothed saint's expression changed drastically. When he saw this altar, he immediately knew what had happened. This was because similar abyssal altars had appeared countless times throughout history. Every time, it would bring disaster to the human world, and it would summon countless demons from the abyss world. This altar is not simple. It was not meant to be a temporary passageway, but a permanent passageway. Fortunately, it was destroyed in time, or else this place would have become a demonic domain and countless demons would have descended. The black-robed saint's face was solemn. Damn it, this kind of permanent altar is definitely not something that could be built in a day or two. They need to gather a lot of materials and spend a lot of time. This is a long-term plan. When did they sneak into the universe? What are they planning? These abyssal demons are organized. They're definitely not scattered soldiers. What level of demons can drive so many undying demons to carry out such a long-term plan? Could it be that the abyss world has been unified? I'm not sure, but this matter must be reported immediately. It is not a small matter. And that Wu Woody, we must find him too. Perhaps he knows something. Otherwise, he would not have appeared here for no reason. Perhaps he already knew about this and came to stop us. The 3 sages looked at each other and immediately left this place. But before they left, they completely sealed this starfield. No one could enter or leave as they wished. This was already treated as an important place for evidence. Perhaps there were still some secrets that they had not discovered. At this time, in the abyss world, on a vast demon continent, there was a huge, majestic palace. Many huge, dark golden chairs appeared in the depths of the palace. Phantoms appeared on them, emitting a powerful demon aura that seemed to distort the peace space. Salada and the others have failed. One of the largest dark golden shadows had an illusory figure that seemed to have 3,000 eyes. Each eye contained a strange and mysterious power that was unfathomable. What trash! Can't even do a single thing. A cold voice was heard, filled with anger. According to the plan, They should have opened the void passage between the abyss world and the universe and let a large number of demons descend as backup troops. They would attack at the crucial moment and catch all living beings off guard. But they couldn't even do such a small thing. Instead, they were discovered by humans, and even the altar was destroyed. When the 5 undying demons died, the news also reached the abyss world. It was furious. It felt that the demons had spent a lot of effort and resources to send the 5 of them out of the abyss world so that they could hide peacefully. But in the end, they still failed. This ruined many of their plans. Who dares to ruin our plans? That person must die. It seems to be a human called Wu-Woody. Damn guy, remember him. When the abyss world invades the universe, that will be the time of his death. List him as an enemy of the abyss and kill him. The demons were filled with murderous intent. Angry voices came from the thrones from time to time. Everyone calmed down. At this time, the illusory voice was heard again. This is just a small failure. It doesn't matter. I have prepared many similar backup plans. The abyss world invades the universe. This is the general trend. No one can stop it. Even if there are some small setbacks along the way, it won't hurt the foundation. Continue with the next plan. Its voice seemed to contain a strange power of comfort and charm. Yes, all the fiendish demons nodded, their anger quickly subsiding. Wu-Woody, this person is just a small fry, but he killed the elites of the abyss. This is a great enmity. No one can kill the elites of the abyss without paying a price. I will order the demons hidden in the universe to take his head back and imprison him in the abyss. They will make him wish he was dead. This illusory voice was cold and emotionless. It contained a monstrous killing intent that seemed to have triggered the will of the abyss. Chapter 21-29. At this moment, the stars were flying aimlessly somewhere in the southern universe. See? Free? O-D. A mountain river pearl space. Beep beep. Xiaoping was happily sorting out his gains from the pirates this time, when he suddenly heard a prompt from the system. Congratulations to the host. This time you have attracted a lot of hatred from the pirates and the abyss demons. A total of 80 hatred crystals have been obtained. I hope the host will continue to work hard. 80 hatred crystals? When he heard the system's voice, his eyes lit up. In addition to the hatred crystals he had obtained before, he now had a total of 700 hatred crystals on him. He still needed 300 hatred crystals to collect 1,000 hatred crystals. At that time, he would definitely get a big gift from the system. He did not know what treasures would be given. However, this time he actually attracted the hatred of the abyss demons. It seemed that killing the 5 immortal demons had seriously destroyed the plans of the abyss demons. Obviously, the abyss demons hated him. Xiaoping could feel the hatred of the abyss demons from the system. Forget it, this is just a small matter. The harvest this time is really great. After a while, he stopped paying attention to these things and continued to count the treasures he had obtained from the pirates. S3. First was the Spirit YS. There were 100 stocks of 100,000-year-old Spirit YS, 10,000 stocks of Spirit YS that were above 10,000 years old, and countless Spirit YS that were less than 10,000 years old. Unfortunately, he did not get Sage Y that was more than 1,000,000 years old. Sage Y was too precious and was not a treasure that these pirates could obtain. Or rather, even if they got it, they would definitely offer it to the 5 immortal demons first. They would not get their turn at all. Next was Pill Y. The Golden Restoration Pill, Wood Restoration Pill, Water Restoration Pill, Fire Restoration Pill, Earth Restoration Pill, Sea Restoration Pill, and so on are also innumerable, more than 100 million bottles. Ordinary Pill Y had already exceeded 10 billion. If it was sold, it would definitely be an earth-shattering wealth. Even ordinary saint-level sect might not be able to get so many Pill Y in a short time. Of course, these Pill Y were no longer of any use to him. Generally, they could only be used to exchange for money or to train his subordinates. As for some magic treasures, they were even more innumerable. They were piled up like mountains, filling up hundreds of mountains, forming a magic treasure city, emitting bursts of treasure light. However, after obtaining so many treasures, it wasn't as if there wasn't anything that moved Xiaoping. Sound pattern stone. This is a strange or that Xia Ping got from a pirate's treasure house. It is about the size of a fist. It is blue like the sea, and it is covered with dense, strange lines. With a slight knock on the oar, a unique sound immediately reverberated. The sound could be heard clearly from tens of millions of kilometers away. It was so crisp that it even penetrated the void, and visible ripples could be seen, directly transmitted to the depths of one's soul. Even if he covered his ears, he couldn't block out the sound of the soundbane stone. Without a doubt, this was no ordinary voice. It was the voice of the soul. If there were a little more of these sound pattern stones, with a little more power, they could directly destroy the souls of ordinary people. Even immortal sages might not be able to withstand it. It really is a heavenly treasure. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. He immediately logged into the internal channel of the Holy Land of Taichu and inquired about the Sound Stone. As expected, this was an extremely precious cosmic ore. It seemed to be produced in a mysterious and strange world in the singularity zones of the central universe. There was a huge, mysterious mountain in that place, which was called the Demonic Sound Mountain. It would transmit terrifying demonic sounds at all times. Even sages would be shocked to death when they got close, and their souls would be completely destroyed. Therefore, the Demonic Sound Mountain was also known as the Life Forbidden Zone. No living creature could enter, and even getting close to it would result in death. The ores produced in this place were also very valuable. Many sages were eager to obtain some sound pattern stones, hoping to refine some powerful sage weapons. Unfortunately, such ores were very difficult to obtain. Even if someone was lucky enough to obtain one, it would be immediately bought by a sage. It would never appear on the market. However, he found it strange that a sound pattern stone would appear in the southern universe. This was a cosmic or that only appeared in the singularity zones of the central universe. It was extremely precious and priceless. However, Xiaoping thought about it carefully. The universe was too big. Even if the sound pattern stone had appeared in the singularity zones, it didn't mean that it didn't exist in other places. Perhaps some adventurer had accidentally found it somewhere, and this sound pattern stone had also been spread out and left in the hands of a pirate. Unfortunately, these pirates didn't know what it was. They only thought it was an ordinary strange or that could cause sound to vibrate. After all, if the sound wasn't strong enough, it wouldn't have much destructive power. This is good stuff. If I can get enough sound pattern stones, then my life treasure, the Bell of Chaos, will immediately transform and evolve. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. His Bell of Chaos was actually in the process of transforming, but it was still lacking something. If he could add these sound pattern stones to the Bell of Chaos, he would immediately be able to stir up the soul sound. At that time, the Bell of Chaos would truly contain unparalleled destructive power. This was like adding wings to a tiger. S3. Even an immortal sage might not be able to resist the power of the Bell of Chaos. This would also become his true killing weapon. He would be invincible. It's still too little. There's only one. Xiaoping felt very regretful. He had only obtained one sound pattern stone from Pirate. If he had a little more, he might be able to upgrade the Bell of Chaos. He touched his chin. Perhaps he could use the wish compass to find the location of the sound pattern stone. Xiaoping. At this time, Qiushu and Su Mei flew over from afar. They also brought the young Treant girl Ruth. Master Xia. The Treant tribe's young lady Ruth respectfully said to Xiaoping with a face full of reverence. What are you here for? Xiaoping asked curiously. Who wants to find you? Qiushu snappily said. It's just that Ruth seems to have something to say to you, so we brought her to this place. Oh. Xiaoping raised his eyebrows. He looked at the Treant girl. To be honest, the young Treant girl in front of him gave him a strange feeling. It seems that she resonated with the world tree in the depths of his sea of consciousness. Her wonderful power is of great benefit to the world tree. Master Xia, may I ask if the Lord God is with you? The young Treant girl Ruth gathered her courage and asked, looking at Xiaoping with a look of expectation. Lord God? What are you talking about? Xiaoping blinked his eyes. Lord God is not a thing. Hearing this, the young Treant girl Ruth was very angry, But she quickly came to her senses and quickly changed her words. No, I didn't mean that. It is a thing. No, my God, what did I say? Lord God, forgive me. Chapter 21:30. All right, stop fooling around with Ruth here. Xiaoxue and Sume looked at Xia Ping angrily. All right, Xia Ping shrugged and said, Are you referring to it when you say Lord God? He moved his mind and immediately let the tree of world fly out from the depths of his sea of consciousness. Boom! Suddenly, a towering tree with a height of 100,000 feet appeared above Xia Ping's head. Thousands of roots were rooted in the void and seemed to penetrate countless dimensions. It was emerald green and contained infinite vitality. Every leaf on it was extremely bright and engraved with dense runes, emitting the aura of the world. Every branch seemed to be able to communicate with dimensions, and every leaf represented a world. Its towering trunk stood in the void, as if it was a great life that had existed since ancient times. It seems to have grown a lot. Xiaoping touched his chin. The tree of world had always been hidden in the depths of his sea of consciousness. It could turn illusory into reality and also turn illusory into reality. It was an extremely wonderful and mysterious life. Even though he knew that the tree of world had grown a lot, he did not expect that it had grown from a seed into a towering tree with a height of 100,000 feet. Of course, compared with its mature state, it was just a small sapling. It should be in its infancy and could not be considered to have entered the growth stage at all. It was the first time for Qiuxue and Su Mei to see the Tree of World. They were shocked at once and received a great impact. They seemed to have seen a great life that contained endless mysteries of a universe. The dense lines on the leaves seemed to represent the rules and laws of the universe. Even a sage seemed to be completely unable to compare with such a great life. If it were not for their strong willpower and Xiaoping's control, perhaps they would not even have been able to stand in front of the Tree of World. Just a wisp of its aura could crush the sky. Lord God. At this moment, Ruth of the Tree Tribe had already knelt on the ground. She was extremely devout, as if she was looking at her ancestor. Her expression was extremely excited and fanatical. Feeling the aura of the Tree of World, her emerald green hair fluttered and dense green runes appeared all over her body, emitting a holy aura. And this aura seemed to have an inexplicable resonance with the Tree of World. Dong! In the blink of an eye, the World Tree seemed to have sensed something. It emitted a beam of green light, which instantly shone on the forehead of the Tree tribeswoman, Ruth. Immediately, a mysterious emerald green pattern appeared on her forehead, making her even more mysterious and unfathomable. It was as if she had become the child of life, containing endless vitality. Crash! Her body gave off boundless green light, and the countless weeds and trees on the ground seemed to have received great benefits. They quickly grew, and some even bloomed and bore fruit, shortening their lifespans. Thank you, Lord God, for your reward. The Trant girl, Ruth, was extremely grateful. It seemed that her power had increased several times. This was a gift from the World Tree. Xiaoping's heart skipped a beat. Through the World Tree, he sensed that he had formed a mysterious spiritual connection with the young tree folk girl, Ruth. It was as if he could sense Ruth's thoughts at any time, anywhere. System, what race is the Trant race? Why are they related to the World Tree? Xiaoping's heart skipped a beat as he asked the system. Host, the Trant race is one of the servants and soldiers of the World Tree. They have all kinds of powerful abilities, and they have an extremely high affinity with plants. The system replied, If you can subdue the Trant race, it will be of great benefit to the host. They have innate abilities and magical powers in cultivating plants, spiritual herbs, spiritual grains, and so on. Moreover, their combat power is extremely strong. Most importantly, the source energy in their bodies is also of great benefit to the growth of the World Tree. The more Trants there are, the more energy they can provide to the World Tree. Both sides complement each other. There's such a thing? Hearing the system's words, Xiaoping touched his chin and looked at the young Trant girl, Ruth, in front of him. Lord Xia, please save our Trant race. Ruth looked at Xiaoping with a pleading look. Save a trant race? What's going on? Xiao Ping asked. It's like this. Ruth said in a deep voice and told him about the crisis of the trant race. About hundreds of millions of years ago, the trant race's holy tree encountered a problem. It fell ill. Countless elders of the trant race tried all kinds of methods, but they were unable to save the holy tree, nor could they find the cause of the holy tree's illness. As time passed, the holy tree weakened bit by bit. Now, the holy tree had reached the end of its life, and it could die at any time. However, the holy tree was extremely important to the trant race. If the holy tree died, it would deal a heavy blow to the entire trant race, causing the trant race to gradually decline. Even the birth of trants would decrease, and eventually, the trant race would perish. It was the source of life for the entire trant race. In order to find a way to save the holy tree, the so-called elders of the trant race sent countless trants to various parts of the universe to search for the ancestor of all plants, the world tree. Only by finding the world tree could they hope to save the holy tree and the trant race. However, countless years passed. Countless trant race paid a huge price and shed blood, but they still couldn't find the world tree. Ruth didn't expect that she would actually find the traces of the world tree. She was instantly overjoyed, thinking that she had finally found a way to save the trant race. Lord Xia, if you are willing to save the holy tree of our trant race is willing to submit to you. We will sign an eternal covenant and become your vassal race. Ruth said in a serious tone. Really? Do you have the authority to do so? Xiao Ping raised his eyebrows. Ruth nodded. Of course I do. Anyone who can save our trant race is the benefactor of our race. Moreover, Lord Xia has signed an agreement with the Lord God. You are the symbol of the Lord God. I believe that no trant would object to our trant race becoming Lord Xia's vassal race. She said in a serious tone. I see. Xiao Ping raised his eyebrows. The biggest reason why the trant race was willing to submit to him was probably because of the world tree. It had an innate suppressive and commanding power over all plants. It was the ancestor of all plants. It was only natural that the trant race would submit to the world tree. Moreover, they would probably obtain endless benefits by cultivating under the world tree. Lord Xia, what do you think? Ruth looked at Xiao Ping nervously. All right. I also want to see what the trant race's holy tree looks like. Xiao Ping rubbed his chin. He could sense that if he could obtain the power of the holy tree, it would probably be of great benefit to the growth of the world tree. It would be able to speed up the growth of the world tree. Chapter 21:31. Thank you, Lord Xia. Hearing this, the trant tribe girl Ruth was overjoyed and excited. But where is your trant tribe's territory? Xiao Ping asked curiously because the trant race was very mysterious in the universe. Although they were very powerful and the reputation of the trant race had spread throughout the universe, no one knew where the trant race was located. The place where we live is called the tree world. It's a beautiful and peaceful world with lush greenery everywhere. It's full of life. The trant tribe girl Ruth said in a deep voice, but our world can move. Its main body is actually our trant tribe's sacred tree. It is erratic, so no one can find out where our trant tribe's world is. I see. Xiao Ping nodded, indicating that he understood why the trant tribe's holy tree was so important to them. It turned out that the tree world was the foundation of the trant tribe. If the holy tree was destroyed, the entire tree world would cease to exist. The trant tribe's home would disappear, and they would have nowhere to hide. At that time, these homeless trants would probably be captured by other races and treated as slaves. Even without the holy tree's power, their power would slowly decline. Then how we find the tree world? Xiao Ping asked. I don't have any way, but we can find Elder Rich of the trant tribe. He has a way to contact the tree world and know where it is, Ruth said. She indicated that the only way to contact the trants scattered in the southern universe was through Elder Rich. Only through Elder Rich could they return to the tree world. This elder was also extremely powerful, having reached the peak of the Thunder Tribulation realm. He had lived for 1,000,000 years and could be called an old antique. His long lifespan was also one of the characteristics of the Trant tribe. Then where is Elder Rich? Xiaoping asked. Ruth thought for a moment and said, Elder Richie lives on Red Saturn, a business center planet in the Southern Universe. This place seems to be the chaotic zone of the Southern Universe. People from all walks of life gather here, so they are very well informed. The reason why the Elder chose this place seems to be that there is a lot of information in this place. We can get news about the Lord God at any time. And if we find clues about the Lord God, we can also go to Red Saturn to find the Elder. Red Saturn? All right, I understand. I'll go find him tomorrow. Xiaoping nodded and immediately made a decision. Thank you, Lord Xia. The Trant tribe girl Ruth said excitedly. Ruth, I'm really sorry. It's all because we didn't come in time that your family was in trouble. Qiuxiu and Sume both looked at Ruth apologetically. No, it doesn't matter. It's the fault of those pirates. It has nothing to do with you. If it weren't for you two sisters, I wouldn't have found Lord God so quickly. From this point of view, I should be grateful to you. Most importantly, my parents aren't dead yet. The Trant tribe girl Ruth smiled. Not dead? How is that possible? I clearly saw them. Qiuxiu and Su Mei were both very surprised. You saw them being chopped into dozens of pieces, didn't you? But they're not dead yet. Ruth of the Trant tribe took out a few green seeds from her body and said, Do you see the seeds in my hand? These are my parents. Before they died, they activated the Trant tribe's innate magical ability. They degenerated into seeds and saved their lives. If they return to the holy tree's side, they will be resurrected. However, the Trant race can only use this innate divine ability 3 times in their lifetime. She held up 3 fingers. Innate divine ability? Qiuxiu and Su Mei were surprised. They didn't expect the Trant tribe to be so magical. They can actually turn into seeds and resurrect again. This is equivalent to getting 3 lives. It's no wonder that the Trant tribe is so famous in the universe. This kind of innate divine ability is really powerful. Moreover, most people don't know that the Trant tribe has such a magical ability. They think that being chopped into dozens of pieces and their soul aura disappearing means that the Trant tribe is dead. In fact, they just condensed all their soul energy into seeds and escaped without being noticed. Many enemies didn't know about this and let the Trant tribe escape alive. After knowing this, they immediately felt relieved and their mood was very happy. After the Trant tribe girl Ruth got Xiaoping's promise, she was very relieved and went to rest. She has been imprisoned for so long. She has long been physically and mentally exhausted and hasn't had a good rest. This time, she finally felt relieved. Xiaoping, what about the slave girls? What are you going to do with them? Qiuxiu and Su Mei both looked at Xiaoping. What should I do with them? Of course, they will stay here as coolies to plant spirit herbs and spirit grains for me. Of course, I took them not because they are beautiful, have good figures, and have long legs. Xiaoping said carelessly, indicating that he absolutely has no evil intentions. He has already ordered the green ox to make proper arrangements for these slave girls. Moreover, these slave girls can't go back. Their relatives are basically all dead. Even if they go back, they will have no relatives to rely on. Most importantly, even if their relatives are not all dead and they know some of his secrets, it is impossible for them to leave this place. No matter what, they can only stay in this place. I'll be a fool if I believe your words. Qiuxiu and Su Mei both snorted and looked at Xiaoping with disdain. They absolutely don't believe that this bad guy doesn't have any evil intentions. If they weren't in this place, they are afraid that this bastard would have already started sleeping together and lived an extravagant life of debauchery. Why not? With you 2 great beauties by my side, how can I look at other women? Xiaoping said righteously. Men, things that they haven't eaten before, even if it's sex, are fragrant. Why would they care if it's beautiful or not? Su Mei said with disdain, as if she could see through the man's dirty mind. Qiuxiu also hugged her breast with both hands, looking as if she had seen through Xiaoping. If that's the case, I don't know if you guys believe it or not. Xiaoping stepped forward, grabbed the 2, and directly took them away and pushed them down. Let go, stinking hooligan. Xiaoxiu and Sume panicked. Gimme children, gimme a bunch. Xiaoping pushed the two down. Get lost. Why don't you go die and give birth to a bunch? What do you think we are? You. What do you want to do to us? Where do you want to put your hands? Ah, my clothes. You actually tore them. Do you know that these clothes are very expensive? Bastard. You don't even let go of the teacher, you beast. Chapter 21:32. A day later, Xiaoping and Ruth of the Trant race quickly arrived at Red Soil Planet in the central star field of the southern universe. The soil of this planet was basically red, and it looked like a bright red planet. Hence, it was called Red Soil Planet because it looked exceptionally beautiful. This planet was indeed a famous commercial planet in the southern universe. People from all walks of life appeared here, and countless spaceships entered and exited the planet. It was extremely lively. Xiaoping steered the stars into Red Soil Planet silently. Anyway, the planet's defense system could not detect the existence of the stars at all. Where is that Elder Richie? Xiaoping asked Ruth of the Trant race. Lord Xia, Elder Ricky should be an alchemist in Red Soil City, the largest commercial city on Red Soil Planet. Ruth indicated that many elders of the Trant race were alchemists. This was because they were very experienced in cultivating spirit herbs and could cultivate a large number of spirit herbs. This way, they could refine a variety of pills more than other alchemists, and they were also more experienced. In addition to the Trant race's innate abilities, the pills they refined were better than those of other alchemists. The efficacy of the pills could be increased by at least 30%, or even more if they were lucky. Therefore, the Trant race was also considered a very famous alchemist in the universe. Many people hoped to obtain a large number of pills refined by the Trant race, which was considered a best-selling product. This had also allowed the Trant race to accumulate a huge amount of wealth. Red Soil City? All right, let's go and take a look. Xiaoping nodded. It seemed that the place where the stars landed was not very far from Red Soil City. Swoosh! A few minutes later, he entered Red Soil City with Ruth. A huge city appeared in front of them, and it seemed to be surrounded by a huge, transparent, eggshell-like energy shield that seemed to contain dense runa rays. Ordinary laser cannons could not penetrate the energy defense here. In the sky, there were hundreds of spaceships patrolling, and there were also a large number of guards around the city gate. They were armed with laser guns and patrolled everywhere, checking for all dangers. Creatures of countless races from all over the universe also came from all directions. Some landed near the port, while others came from other cities and entered through the city gate. Clearly, the defense of this Red Soil City was extremely powerful. Even if a Thunder Retribution Realm expert fought here with all his might, he might not be able to break the city's restrictive formation. Lord Xia, Red Soil City is a very famous commercial city in the southern universe. Many people come here to trade and sell all sorts of treasures of heaven and earth. If Lord Xia has anything you want, you can find it here. The Tree Tribe girl, Ruth, seemed to be very familiar with this place, as if she was very familiar with it. But this place is also very dangerous. Bad people from all over the world will appear here, so the security here is very strict. She said that Red Earth City was a chaotic place where countless forces of the southern universe gathered. Many pirate groups, mafias, criminal groups, and so on would appear in this place. It was very chaotic. Even though there were a lot of patrols in this area, it was impossible to prevent the appearance of danger. At this time, Xiaoping and Ruth approached the city gate. Suddenly, a loud voice came from the city gate. What? Say it again if you have the balls. You actually have to pay 100 universe credits to enter Red Soil City? Have you lost your mind? A blue-clothed young man was arguing with several soldiers at the city gate. It seemed that there were more than a dozen people beside the blue-clothed man, and they all looked fierce. Friend, if you want to enter Red Soil City, you have to pay 100 universe credits as an entrance fee. No one is an exception. After all, every inch of land in Red Soil City is worth its weight in gold. If you can't even pay 100 universe credits, you can forget about buying anything else. I hope you can forgive me, several soldiers at the city gate said. Their faces were full of disdain as if they despised the blue-clothed man in front of them for not even having 100 universe credits. "Shut up." Seeing such a look, the blue-clothed young man shouted angrily, "I don't care about the rules of Red Soil City. Do you know who I am? How dare you charge me an entrance fee? I'm really ignorant. May I know who you are, sir?" The soldiers were stunned. Listen up. I'm Wu Wuti, a sinner who has committed countless crimes and killed countless people. The blue-clothed young man stood with his hands behind his back, revealing an arrogant look. "What?" Hearing this, the soldiers were scared half to death. "You're the universe-level, wanted criminal Wu Wuti who recently destroyed the 40 Thieves Alliance and killed 5 sages." Their faces immediately turned ashen, and their hearts turned cold. "Oh my God, the super-wanted criminal Wu Wuti actually appeared in Red Soil City? I've seen the wanted portrait before. This blue-clothed young man looks exactly like the one in the portrait. He's too arrogant. He just destroyed the 40 Thieves Alliance not long ago, and now he dares to appear so brazenly. How can he not be arrogant? The 5 sages have been killed. Who else is his match? It's over. Those soldiers actually dared to offend Wu Wuti. Even if they have a few lives, they won't be enough. It's not just that. If Wu Wuti gets angry, the entire Red Soil City will be finished. Indeed, no matter how powerful Red Soil City is, it doesn't have the support of the 5 sages." The surrounding people discussed and were shocked. Looking at the blue-clothed young man in front of them, they were all terrified and retreated as if they had encountered a peerless demon. They were afraid that they would anger the super demon in front of them and suffer a calamity. After all, Wu Wuti's name had already spread throughout the entire Southern Universe, to the point where he could stop a child from crying. The soldiers in front of the city gate were scared half to death. Their legs were trembling. They knew that they had offended a terrifying big shot. Seeing the expressions of the surrounding people, the blue-clothed man became even more smug. "What? Are you still going to charge me an entrance fee? Do you believe that I won't get angry and slaughter the entire Red Soil City?" "Sir, please calm down. Please calm down. We have eyes but failed to recognize you. Since Sir Wu wants to enter Red Soil City, it's naturally free. If anyone dares to pay, I'll immediately take their head." At that moment, a few captain-level figures immediately walked out of the city gate. They hurriedly stepped forward, sweating profusely. At least you know what's good for you. If you were a step too late, your Red Soil City would have been slaughtered. Those who dare to offend me, Wu Wuti, don't even know how to spell the word death. Remember to keep your eyes open next time. Don't look down on people all day long." The blue-clothed young man was very arrogant. He swaggered into Red Soil City with a group of his subordinates. The surrounding people did not even dare to breathe. They all lowered their heads, afraid that the peerless demon in front of them would fly into a rage. Chapter 21:33. In front of the city gate. When Xiaoping saw this, he did not expect that someone in the universe would dare to impersonate him. Moreover, many people believed him. Did this kid not know how much trouble he had caused? Once his enemies found out, this guy would not be able to bear the consequences. Thinking of this, he did not continue to care. He paid the entrance fee and entered Red Soil City with Ruth. After entering Red Soil City, Xiaoping found that the city lived up to its name. It was well-connected and neatly planned. There were many shops, and it was very lively. Many races from all over the universe did business here. His spiritual consciousness casually explored, and he could sense many treasures appearing and disappearing in this place. And the entertainment industry seemed to be very developed. There were all kinds of dirty places. If one had money, this place would be heaven. This kid is still cheating here. Xiaoping planned to find the tree tribe, Elder Richie. But before he could go any further, he saw a blue-clothed youth with a group of subordinates in front of him. They seemed to be bullying people in a magic treasure shop. "What did you say?" "This magic treasure is selling for 100,000 universe dollars. What a profiteer. You're clearly robbing me." The blue-clothed youth picked up a magic treasure and shouted. "Sir," the shop owner hurriedly said, "it's reasonable for us to sell it for 100,000 universe dollars. Its materials are the best, and the cost is tens of thousands of universe dollars. It was also refined by a famous master refiner. It's extremely powerful. It's definitely an honest magic treasure. With a slap, the blue-clothed young man sent the shop owner flying. Get lost. Are you trying to make me lose my temper by saying that I, woo-woody, have less foresight than a good-for-nothing like you? This. The shop owner was shocked and angry. He immediately wanted to fight back. Boss, don't act rashly. This person is the peerless demon, woo-woody. Yes, we can only endure. Do you want to bring disaster to Red Soil City? Endure for a moment, take a step back, and the world will be clear. But some of the soldiers shook their heads and secretly warned the shop owner that this person was a peerless demon. If he fought back, he would definitely die. It might even implicate the entire city. What? This kid is the peerless devil, woo-woody. Hearing this, the boss was so scared that he started sweating profusely. When he thought of woo-woody's reputation as a peerless demon, he immediately stopped shouting. I think this artifact is worth at most 1 universe coin. 1 more universe coin would be too much. The blue-clothed youth said arrogantly. Yes. Sir is right. The shop owner was furious, but he did not dare to say anything. How about this? I'm not an unreasonable person. Since I've come to your shop, I'll help your business. Pack up all the magic treasures here for me. There's a total of 365 pieces, so I'll pay 365 universe credits. I'll help you round up the rest, so it'll be 300 universe credits. Don't thank me for taking care of your business. The man in blue waved his hand and ordered his subordinates to pounce forward. Like wolves and tigers, they began to pack up the goods in the shop. What? Hearing this, the shop owner's face turned green. There were so many treasures in this shop that were worth at least a few million universe credits. This bastard wanted to take them all away for only 300 universe credits. He even said that he was taking care of his business. If he came here every day, he would have gone bankrupt long ago. What would he earn then? Why? Looking at your expression, you seem very dissatisfied. Do you have a lot of opinions? The blue-clothed youth immediately emitted a terrifying aura that condensed into a substance. It was as if the sky was about to collapse. The surrounding onlookers did not even dare to breathe loudly. They felt as if their souls were carrying a mountain on their backs. It was so heavy that they could not move. If they moved even a little, they would face a disaster. No. I have no opinions. Feeling such an aura, the shop owner was scared half to death. He did not dare to say anything and treated it as a way to avoid disaster. The person in front of him was definitely a terrifying super demon. Once he was angry, it would be a bloodbath. Money was just an external object. One's life was more important. It's good that you don't have any opinions. If you do, you can speak out boldly. Take me, woo-woody, for example. I only have one way to deal with people who dare to have opinions. That is to kill. Kill your entire family. The blue-clothed man was filled with killing intent. The surrounding people were so scared that they wet their pants. Even the shop owner almost fainted. Fortunately, he did not raise any opinions. Otherwise, he would be finished. This guy is not simple. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. He could sense that the blue-clothed youth's aura was not simple. It had reached the peak of the thunder tribulation. However, his hell golden crow eyes could see through his true cultivation level. At most, he was at the golden core realm. However, this kid had cultivated a technique that could simulate auras. It had reached the acme of perfection. Therefore, not many people present could see through it. If they really fought, they would definitely be exposed. However, it was clear that this kid's move was enough to frighten a group of people. Coupled with the threat of woo-woody's name, no one dared to act rashly. Moreover, this blue-clothed youth did not use plastic surgery to look like woo-woody. Instead, he used a transformation technique to change himself into woo-woody's appearance. It was extremely similar. Those who had not fought with woo-woody before would not be able to tell the difference. Master, if I'm not wrong, this kid might be from the illusion race. This race is proficient in illusion techniques. They are good at changing into the appearance of the major races in the universe. They can achieve the level of passing off the fake as the real one. The Green Ox's voice sounded. And this race is also a famous race of swindlers. They often use their transformation techniques to become famous people and cheat large amounts of money. Not long ago, they also changed into the kings of some human countries or great human nobles. They impersonated their identities and enjoyed all the glory and wealth. They seized all the power and wealth and caused great harm. Therefore, this race has a very bad reputation in the universe. Almost everyone wants to beat them up. It could be said that they are a race of swindlers. No bank in the universe will accept their request for a credit card. It indicated that all the major races hated the illusion race to the extent that they would not rest until they were dead. Unfortunately, the illusion race's ability to escape was too strong. They could change into various major races and were very difficult to exterminate. Until now, no one knew where the illusion race's nest was. Interesting. Xiaoping touched his chin. He suddenly became interested in this kid. A major race like this that cheated the entire universe must have accumulated a shocking amount of wealth. Chapter 2134. After robbing the magic treasure shop, the blue-robed young man swept through the shops along the way with his subordinates. Along the way, countless shops fell victim to him, and he forcibly bought a large number of treasures at the price of 1 yuan per item. Countless shop owners complained. They were shocked and angry, but no one dared to resist. Oh my God, is this the legendary Wu Wuti? He's indeed a sinful man. He's a natural villain. He dominates the market, oppresses men and women, and does all sorts of bad things. Someone shouted in grief and indignation. My elixir shop, I spent 10 million universe dollars to purchase good from the outside world with great difficulty. I wanted to make a fortune, but now it's gone. It's all gone. This bastard bought it for 100 universe dollars. He's going too far. A fat shop owner lay on the ground, wanting to cry, but having no tears. You've only lost 10 million universe credits. That's nothing. My magic treasure shop has a family heirloom that's worth at least 50 million universe credits. He actually forcefully bought it for only 100 universe credits. He's simply not human. Someone was furious. Damn it. Such an evil bastard. Why doesn't anyone take care of him? He's such a bastard. He's the kind of guy who bullies the weak and fears the strong. I haven't seen him touch the shops of those big powers, but he specializes in bullying small shops like us with no background. Shameless. Does a Thunder Tribulation Realm powerhouse have to rob these things? He's simply shameless. This immoral thing will be struck by lightning sooner or later. Many shop owners cried and complained. They were furious, but they did not dare to speak too loudly. They were afraid that their voices would be heard by Wu Wuti. If that happened, they would be in trouble. He's too evil. No wonder he's the universe-level wanted criminal Wu Wuti. He's unscrupulous. Only Wu Wuti would dare to act like a tyrant in Red Soil City and rob everywhere. Wu Wuti said, "This is nothing." He destroyed the 40 Thieves Alliance. This is just a small matter. The problem is that he robbed the 40 Thieves Alliance of countless treasures. Why would he be interested in these small profits? You don't understand. No matter how small a mosquito is, it still has some meat. Who would complain about having too much money? Indeed, as expected of the great demon Wu Wuti. Although he's a Thunder Tribulation Realm expert, he's extremely thick-skinned. He doesn't care about his reputation at all, and only bullies the weak and fears the strong. This kind of demon is the most terrifying. He has no bottom line at all. The surrounding people began to discuss among themselves. They seemed to be even more afraid of Wu Wuti. They described Wu Wuti as a peerless devil who liked to bully the weak, but feared the strong. He killed people like flies and did things according to his whims. Such a devil had no bottom line and was unpredictable. Several hours later, in a remote street in Red Earth City, the blue-clothed man and the others had gathered there with looks of excitement. They had already separated themselves from the surrounding crowd and avoided everyone's gazes. What do you think? Is there anyone around? The man in blue asked cautiously. Don't worry, boss. I've already looked around. No one could follow us. That's right. How would those cowardly fellows dare to follow the famous Wu Wuti? Aren't they afraid of being eaten? As expected of the boss. He actually thought of pretending to be Wu Wuti and immediately scared those idiots out of their wits. They obediently handed over the treasures and pills. That's right. It feels so good. It feels like someone is giving us money. If we do this a few more times, we won't have to worry for the rest of our lives. The group of subordinates were proud and excited. This was the first time they had such a feeling. They didn't need money to buy things, and people were even fighting to give them to them. Shut up, you bunch of idiots. The blue-clothed man scolded angrily. Why are you speaking so loudly? Are you afraid that people won't know that we're imposters? If people find out that we're from the illusion race, do you think we can leave this place alive? Yes, boss. Well, shut up immediately. The group of subordinates immediately shut up, their expressions stern. It's good that you know how powerful we are. Seeing his subordinates like this, the blue-clothed man was very satisfied. But there's no need to worry so much. Even if they have doubts now, they won't dare to act rashly in such a short period of time. After all, if I really am Woody, then Red Soil City will definitely face disaster. Boss, what do we do now? Do we still go and earn more money? A subordinate asked. He felt that doing this kind of thing was addictive. It was simply picking up money. Earn my ass, the blue-clothed man said impatiently. The man in blue said angrily, before anyone finds out, let's change into someone else's identity and run away quickly. Are we going to wait for others to find out who we are before running away? Greed kills. Don't you know this is a lesson for our race? Don't kill everyone. Got it, boss. The subordinates all nodded. They had been given a rude awakening. It's good that you understand. Later, we'll change into other people and immediately leave Red Soil City. Then, we'll go to another planet and continue our scams, the blue-clothed man said in a low voice. The blue-clothed man said in a deep voice. He felt that as long as he did a few such deals, he wouldn't have to worry about the resources for his cultivation. Want to run? Changing into my identity, maliciously deceiving me. And you want to run? Do you think it's that simple? Suddenly, a voice came from the void. Then, a figure appeared in front of the blue-clothed man and the others. This person was Xiaoping. Damn it, there's an enemy. Run. The blue-clothed man's expression changed. Without another word, he immediately took out a red ball. With a boom, the entire street was instantly filled with red mist. This was a rare treasure, mist ball. Once it exploded, it would immediately form a red mist. This special mist could block vision, divine sense, and other powers. It would cause enemies to fall into a state of confusion and lose their sense of direction. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The blue-clothed man and the others were well trained. They immediately wanted to take this opportunity to run. Devour. Xiaoping grabbed with his hand. A terrifying, devouring power appeared in his palm, forming a vortex. In an instant, the red mist on the entire street was completely devoured. Not a single drop was left. What? The blue-clothed man and the others were stunned. They had not expected this at all. Dizziness. The blue-clothed man was not stunned. He suddenly took out two blue stones, the size of a fist. Sound stone. Xiaoping squinted his eyes. He immediately recognized that it was the famous sound stone. Clang! In an instant, the blue-clothed man fiercely used his hands to smash the two stones together. Immediately, a terrifying sound wave was produced. It almost condensed into a solid substance, causing ripples in the void to spread in all directions. It also caused dizziness. This sound wave contained the power to disturb the soul. If careless, even an almighty at the peak of the tribulation lightning would be stunned for a moment and faint on the spot. Unfortunately, it was of no use to Xiaoping. Dong! Xiaoping attacked with his palm. All the sound waves were shaken into a ball of powder, disappearing into nothingness. Boom! In the next second, the blue-clothed man and the others were instantly knocked out by the terrifying force. They were foaming at the mouth. Interesting. They actually have sound stones. The illusion race really has a big secret.